Okay. And then
So it's like a crock pot, but
but it's an oven. It runs on water. It's crazy.
All right, you are good. Hello, how are you guys? Are we recording? We are recording now. Great. We have a 2-minute start time. So this would be a great time if you have your note cards. I can't even think of what I'm trying to say. If you have your note cards, I can take them upstairs as I go up there if they're completed. And if they are completed, you then get your next round of note cards. Awesome.
And if not, you can have another opportunity this afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, you guys having fun yet? Richard is.
Absolutely.
Richard totally is having the best time ever, I can tell.
I think we've been having fun.
Yeah.
I'm missing some people.
We are a minute and a half early, so, you know,
Okay, I'll wait.
this is a lesson for real estate agents. You guys are the rock stars. You're the ones that show up on time, unlike the rest of the real estate agents that it's a 5-minute delay.
Never been a rock star before.
You're a rock star today.
This is your chance.
It's worth buying more cars, isn't it, guys?
I would say so. I would say so. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you do your thing. I super appreciate everything you've done for this group of people, so. She's great, isn't she?
Yeah.
Let's give her this, right? Awesome. Okay, I will see you guys later.
Okay. All right, so we just have one new face today and it's Jennifer. So, and then, well, I think we have all heard where everyone came from, but let's just really quickly go through the room again. Everybody just say your name and how long you've been in real estate. Just those two things. So Richard, do you want to start?
Yeah, Richard Beal, 1 year.
Jeff Doherty, 15 years.
I'm Jennifer and I'm just now starting.
Right?
Jennifer. Mary and I'm just now starting.
And I just got my license last month.
Liliana, and I've been in real estate 5 years.
Amy and I've been in real estate 5 years. Liliana and I started together. I think we probably did our first Ignite together.
You think so?
I think so.
Well, good.
That's fun.
That's why you're so good.
Okay, so today we're going to cover connecting with your market. We'll go over different factors to research and consider to be prepared for meeting with clients. This is the path to become the real estate expert of choice. Before we begin, let's talk about the progress of the success system from yesterday. So our success system, as you remember, is your opportunity to have 10 conversations to somebody open it up and read it to me. 10 conversations, 10 handwritten cards.
Add 10
Add
times.
10 to your database. We're gonna learn about the social media aspect today. And then I think we're also gonna cover a little bit more of the enrichment activities that you can be doing. Does anybody want to share any of their successes from yesterday? Did anything happen after we left? You know, did you send a text and you heard something back after we left? Or you write any extra cards last night? But
So sent out 45 texts and got 9 responses back. And one for sure appointment to cultivate the connection.
Yeah.
And another possible appointment, so possibly 2 appointments.
Nice.
that is awesome.
So if they text you first, and in your reply, you mention real estate, but they don't answer back, does that count as a conversation?
Yes, it's a two-way conversation because they conversated with you and you conversated back. Is that a word, conversation?
We'll use it.
Things up today. Yes, Anne.
Awesome, I did that.
Good. Is there anything new with you last night? You studying?
I did not study, but I did get several emails to add to my contacts.
Yes, so you sent out yesterday, you sent, what did you send out to get your emails? What did you say?
What did I say? Let me see here, sorry. I said something like, hey, I've been challenged. What did I say? I've been or as you know, I'm getting into real estate and I've been challenged to get 10 emails for my future newsletter. Would you mind to help me out? Thank you kindly.
Can I use that?
Perfect.
Yeah. Rip off and duplicate.
But, okay, but as somebody who's already now licensed, how would I tweak it?
Wouldn't, you're still getting into real estate, right?
Oh, okay,
Or you can say, I just recently became a realtor.
okay. And I've been challenged. Have you challenged me? Is that a lie?
You are challenged.
She challenged me.
Excellent.
Use that.
Excellent.
Okay.
Jen, you're studying for your test. When is it?
1st of April. I'm sorry, February.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I was like, April.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, she's been.
So you've already scheduled it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're through the 24 or 48 and 24?
Yeah, I did the class already through Real Estate of the Ozarks, the school,
Oh.
and then I passed my state portion.
Oh, excellent.
I did it separately,
Okay.
and then, now I'm just doing the national.
She also went and got married in the
Yeah.
middle of the whole thing.
Oh,
so-
Because it's like Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Wow.
So there was like another.
There's been a lot.
So it's just now calming, thank you.
Great.
But I've been pushing it off. I've been lazy these last couple of weeks, kind
Yeah,
of
I think we've all been
catching my breath from the holidays.
at the time of year.
It's the weather. Oh,
Yeah.
it's weather. You don't wanna do anything.
Or do you have your schedule?
I'm about halfway through my 48, so I'm just doing it at home through Pace Score.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, so let's see what's next. By the end of today, you will be equipped to explain how various factors of your current market inform your business focus and strategy. Analyze current real estate market trends to build your expertise and utilize KW technology and social media to connect with clients and grow your business. To start thinking about what you will learn today, let's consider the questions we might have and what we'd like to learn more about. So just like yesterday, let's take just a couple of minutes to talk with the people around us, maybe grab a partner and come up with 2 to 3 questions or 2 to 3 topics that you want to learn about. Talk to somebody.
Okay, thank you.
Hey there.
Hi.
Hi, Melissa. We're glad you're here today.
you want to chat?
Sure. I'm sorry, I was not paying attention. I was answering. that.
We're supposed to be chatting about what we want to learn today.
What
What our questions are for.
There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of information out there.
I have a question for you.
Where do I find
Do
it?
you wanna-
And what's
Do you know anybody that wants to buy or sell or invest in real estate?
I feel
Not right
that-
now.
I'm sure they can share some of that.
Okay, see, that's one. One conversation.
After the last 2 days, it's been, I can do a newsletter voice this morning.
Yes, I would.
And yesterday
I know that I want
Canvas
to learn,
training.
there's
I
2
was
things I
there.
know I want to
Canvas
learn
training.
today. One of them
Okay.
is, what is a recommended posting
When you get into
schedule on
it.
social media?
Okay.
They've told us, you know, how many times we should contact people and how many times we should send out a newsletter and yada yada, so is there a recommended posting schedule?
Okay.
So that's one thing I want to know. The other thing I want to know is, and I'm really excited that we're gonna learn some of this today, but, because I was thinking about it the other day, is how do you keep,
Mid-70s.
Okay.
how do you maintain
That's like at 90.
the knowledge of the market?
It was easier.
Like,
When all this came together.
In the team meetings, he gives us stats about what's going on in the market, and what has, you know, and what's been closed and stuff, but to me, that's not
It's still there.
what I mean, like, what are some sources where I can go and read? Yes, exactly.
I know.
I can,
Yes,
I can help you with that.
yes, exactly.
My
And I kind of.
about social media,
Yes,
the more the better,
okay,
but you don't want to saturate people
right?
and get bored. So what you do is do not post always about real estate.
Right.
You got a new puppy,
Mhm.
post it, stupid stuff. I went to the dentist yesterday, I had a crown. I took a picture of it.
Oh,
Guess
yeah.
where I am,
Love it.
So combine, don't
Um,
in your conversations, when you talk to people,
The state is 50.
the state's
just
50.
generically let it run,
I think
and
it's 50.
eventually
I got 33 out of 40.
you ask, hey, where do you live? And you start, what do you do? And then they will ask you, what do you do?
Right.
This morning I was in the bank
I did. It
and
was
they asked me
easier
for my
then.
email address, so I gave him my KW address, and she
There
goes,
you go.
what's KW? Sakura, I said, Keller Williams.
I really.
Do you guys, and I went out loud, there were 3 more people there. Do you guys need to buy or sell or invest in real estate? And everybody started laughing. And I left one of my business cards.
And there you go.
It's easier than,
So
I wasn't nervous.
just don't
One place.
Don't go straight to real estate, don't, because people hate.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Then you go to MLS.
Yeah, and the relationship, so you, clients, you wanna have a relationship.
Been in.
And if you always gonna call and say, hey, you wanna buy another house?
Right.
You know, but if you say, I called two neighbors the other day, because I know they're older,
Rather than the
and
complete unknown.
the husband's died, I was shaking on them.
And I think.
Hey, do you guys need
I think
anything?
a lot of it
I never
is-
talked about real estate,
Mhm.
We go through all.
but just the, how can you
Building
care?
relationships.
You'll always remember it.
That's good.
You know,
Yeah.
we look around at all these people, you know.
You have to select the county.
Well, they can probably, and they all assure you,
Yeah,
yeah, you'll
Put
get
in their
it.
first and last
You
name
know,
and then hit search.
and it seems like just more
And it
people
will
to
pull
ask
up
too.
all.
That is what, like yesterday hearing there's 500 agents backing us, you know, we have, that's a
Everyone seems
go-to.
really open.
Right. Well, and I'm not that far ahead of you, trust me.
I kind of would
Starting
love
point,
that.
I'm sure what that looks like.
So you'll,
This is my information, I'm gonna hold it, it doesn't seem like that.
Once you
unless
have
they.
I agree,
Get
it's like
on
a
it.
family.
then you'll have a lot more
Kind
Fill
of.
out
things,
more
and you'll start.
To sign on essentially.
Yes.
Everything that you're learning for the test,
I mean,
you
like,
never
So-
use it.
So that's one way.
It's your license to learn.
Yeah, did you take it here in Springfield? at the
I did,
testing center?
I did.
In 5 years, only once, I wish I could remember, but I was in the title company.
Right.
They knew the
The
answer.
one I talk more.
Well, I've taken it once, the national one.
Yeah.
And I missed it. by 3.
Oh, rats. That's just wrong.
Yeah, but at least I got the state done.
Yeah,
And then I passed it.
yeah.
All right, does everybody have a couple of questions written down?
I'm updating my file.
You know I'm gonna call on you.
Or I'm updating my file.
Who wants to share their first question? What do we want to learn about today? Or in general?
How to get addresses.
Perfect. What I wrote down, schedule with Richard to talk about farming.
Oh, there you
It's on my
go.
to-do list. Okay, we're gonna talk about how to get addresses. I mean, we'll see if we have time to actually share it with everybody, but if not, then we'll talk one-on-one. But I'm happy to show everyone how to get addresses. So how to get addresses. Okay, what else?
So I sent a text to my buddy Jason Massengale and asked him who was doing farming of subdivisions for Richard
Yeah.
and myself. At a high level
Mhm,
here in our office,
mhm.
and he didn't know anybody. So that would be a question for the teacher.
We will pioneer that, won't we?
And I also sent a text to Mike, but I haven't heard back from Mike. I'd say he's pretty busy this morning, so he's got lots going on with the upcoming reunion and all that stuff, so, yeah.
We'll find out. There was a gentleman in our office. I don't know what happened to him, and he was incredible at farming.
Okay,
Nicole Milan and Oscar Avila. Oscar joined Grady's team, but he and Nicole were doing a lot of door knocking. They've both been agents probably for about 1.5-ish.
okay,
But we'll find out. We'll do
okay,
some research and find out.
yeah.
But I can give you the basic activities around farming.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, what else?
more about social media and how to use that in a healthy, personal / business way.
What do you mean by healthy?
Well, I see a lot of unhealthy,
Negative.
where they spend too much time trying to promote their business. And, you know, everything you read, that's not healthy. There's a ratio to stay within. And I'd kind of like to know, what the ones that are doing that at a high level in our area, are using as that ratio.
Yeah, so are you talking, so when you say that, is that about the perception of the people seeing it, or is that about the algorithms itself?
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
learning. I don't know. I've never really used social media.
Yeah.
I've always been a hands-on
So you're
guy.
gonna get really lucky because my business partner Maria is teaching next week, and she truly is, of everyone here, she probably knows the most about social media.
Okay.
That's why you weren't in here yet, and I said, I don't ever know what's on my social media. It's a surprise because I don't do it. She does so much research. She comes up with all the ideas and then she and Bree figure out how to implement it and it just shows up on my Facebook and Instagram.
Is that your business page you're talking about or your personal?
So I will okay, so for me personally, I will share from my business page to my personal page. But then on my personal page, you have to make sure you're still sprinkling in your actual life stuff. So make sure you're putting stuff about your family and your kids and the activities that you do. So I probably have maybe 350 followers on my business page, but I've got close to 2,000 friends on my personal page. So more people are gonna see it if it's on my personal page. But in order for the algorithm to let people see it, I have to be posting personal things too, that people are actually gonna wanna comment on. You know, they're gonna wanna communicate with me. If all I did was push my real estate stuff, nobody's gonna comment on that.
You gotta get engagement.
You've got to get engagement, exactly. You've got to, and that's, I think we're going to talk about that with the 10-5-1 because it's not just about, it's a matter of posting enough and not posting too much.
Yeah.
It's also posting business and personal and messaging, commenting on other people's things. So for a while, what I was doing is I would actually go to my friends list and I would just go in order and I would click on a friend. I would go to their page and I go to their very first post and whatever it was, I'd comment on it. And I would do 20 a day. That way, and also that increased who I saw on my own feed and made my social media time more enjoyable because I got to actually see more of people's real life stuff instead of just seeing some of the same stuff over and over again. So you have to, and I think that's what they're gonna share with us in the 10-5-1 is it's gonna show us the different things that we have to do. As opposed to just like, just posting. We've got to also engage with other people and we've got to direct message too.
Exactly. I got off of Facebook when I sold my last
I don't like
business and I was
social
so
media.
happy.
So,
It's too much information for me.
so what I would encourage in that case, because I kind of feel the same way, what I would encourage is to set a scheduled time each day and consider it part of your lead generation. Just know that it's part of your job. Say from this time to this time, I was doing for like 30 to 45 minutes and I would do it like middle, like kind of between 12 and 3 is when I typically would do it. I'm sure there's actually even a thing about what time is best. At one point it used to be like if you did it when people were coming home from work or if you did it right before bedtime. That's the last time I want to do it. So I was doing it in the middle of the afternoon, but I just set that time and when that time was up, I was done. I didn't have to look at it again the rest of the day, But, and that way too, like I could go and kind of see what was going on with people without having to necessarily have like all that negative stuff on my feed that a lot of people put out there. What else?
I just have one more.
Okay.
Hopefully it's for somebody else too in the room and I'm not just taking all the time.
I would like to know more about the process of developing and distributing a newsletter at a high level.
So they had a workshop this morning. It was taught by Haley, who's with Onward. She was doing the newsletters prior to the person who's doing them now. She's awesome. And I guarantee that was recorded. It should be on our Keller Williams YouTube page by tomorrow.
Tell me what that is again.
I think they changed it to Keller Williams Greater Springfield. If you search Rachel Lusk, it'll probably still pop up for you.
What's her last name?
Lusk, L-U-S-K. It's Watson now, but it used to be under Lusk. But I think if you search that, it still pops it up. But I think it's Keller Williams Greater Springfield.
She also had a little handout too that showed how to go into command and exactly how to do it and all that. So you might ask Haley for that.
Who did?
Haley's
Haley.
handout.
Haley?
I'm making a list of things that I'm promising you guys.
Is your checklist on that?
It is.
Okay.
You're holding
And then-
yourself
And
accountable.
then also, Paulina she did a social media class and she actually had a booklet. She had a guide that she created. So I'm gonna get that for you guys too. I have it in my email. Okay. What else?
I want to know how to keep current about the market. What are some sources to go to read regularly? So that I can educate people. Understand first and then educate.
Okay, so one of the things that you can always access is the Keller Williams Connect. And the most recent economic update from Keller Williams should be available to watch.
Okay.
That was recorded in August at Mega Camp, and there will be another one at Family Reunion. So by the 1st of March, we'll have another one that we can rewatch. So that's where that's one place where you can go. You can also follow Lawrence Yoon, and he is the chief economist for the National Association of Realtors.
Oh,
So you can follow him on social media.
how do you spell that?
I think it's Y-E-N, might be Y-U-N, might be Y-E-N,
Okay,
I'm not
that's
sure.
close enough.
We are actually also, I'm on the education committee of the board, and we're trying to schedule a class to have him zoomed in so that we can have an update directly from him. And then Keeping Current Matters is a blog that a lot of people use. Bigger Pockets is one that a lot of people use. I'll post that out into our internal Facebook group and see if we can find out some other ones that people are.
I was gonna ask it.
I must say
Okay.
that if you have a good lenders, some of the good lenders like, what's his name? I have him.
Adam
He-
Swenka.
Soinka, he does a newsletter every week.
Okay.
And tells you what's going on, what happened, what's going on. He does well. Just call your lenders, talk to them, and they'll send you information. Also Facebook. You know, somebody, if you see a post that it will help your clients, to me, copying somebody's Facebook is not bad. I think to me it's a flowering. Somebody likes what you do and they want to be like you. So some people have problems with that, and if they do, but don't use them anymore. So,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Yeah, and I would also encourage everybody to try to either be here for team meetings on Tuesday mornings or Zoom in, because, I mean, they keep us pretty well up to date with everything that's happening. But you do want to follow some of the economists, especially when it's in regards to real estate. I mean, I don't necessarily think you have to be a person who's on there every single day. It could get a little depressing, right? Got to keep our spirits up. All right, what else? Is that it?
Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, all right, so if any of this is not covered in the material today, then when our lecture time is over, before we start our success systems, then we'll kind of see where we can break some things down. How's that sound? Okay, here's the truth. It has been done, and if it has been done in another market, it can be done in your market. Once it has been done, no matter where, it is just a matter of finding out how it can be possible in your world. This quote helps us understand that applying the right systems and models to your market can help you achieve the success of those that came before you. What does connecting with your market mean to you? So Anne, you're wondering how to stay up to date with the market. What does that mean to you?
So yeah, that means, knowing the approximate interest rates and how they're trending. Knowing whether there's too many homes or not enough homes. Locally, also knowing, maybe some things that might affect the economy in the area, whether it be, down in Branson, there's another attraction coming in or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Or somebody's about to close and lay off a bunch of people, that sort of thing. That's what it means to me. I don't know if that's the right.
I think so. Okay, I think that's 100% accurate. So I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but a great person to talk to is Mike Brown. If you ever need to know anything, you can talk to Mike Brown. He has a spreadsheet for everything. And
Oh, yeah?
He follows all of our local statistics and our national statistics, and he creates a spreadsheet.
Oh, wow.
And he is like, sometimes it's a little bit of a foreign language for me, but so interest rates, trends, inventory, I mean, you're gonna hear that stuff. Just be in the office, be plugged in, talk to other agents. You're going to naturally hear that stuff. Yeah, and whatever, as far as what's affecting the economy, I would encourage you to get involved, like if you're living in Springfield or if you live in another town, maybe go to the school board meetings, maybe go to the city council meetings. Here in Springfield, they have the NAC meetings, which is the different neighborhoods that come together. So when I go to those, I hear a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
Hear a lot of stuff. And, especially when there's a new business coming in, they'll be talking a lot about that.
Gotcha. Thank
Okay,
you.
a well-connected.
Are you a part of a chamber?
I'm not part of the chamber. I'm part of a networking group, and then I'm part of my neighborhood association. I go to the NAC meetings.
Yeah.
And then on occasion, I'll go to the school board or the city council. Usually if I know, like, there's a topic that I'm interested in, I don't go every month.
I've,
But if
I've
you're in
not
a
ever been a
smaller
part-
community, then I would definitely encourage the
yes,
chamber.
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, like in
'Cause I've
Nixa.
been a part of Nixa since 1995 and
Mhm.
I've been a part of Ozark Chamber, not so much Springfield, because Springfield is different.
Mhm.
It's not as relational.
Yes, I agree.
But these smaller ones, or Branson, somebody talked about that being their market, are great. The smaller chambers are
Yeah.
a place to not only get a lot of information, but get a lot of referrals
Yeah.
through building
Yeah,
relationships.
Nixa and Ozark especially, for
Yeah.
sure. When I had a salon that was in Nixa. and
Yeah.
I belonged to the chamber then.
Yeah.
And I belonged to Nixa and I would visit Ozark.
Yeah.
They had a little rivalry going. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's still the same way.
Yeah,
I feel like they left a word out of the sentence, but we'll find out. A well-connected, that is well-informed agent. Okay, there we go. A well-connected agent that is also well-informed,
Yeah.
knows everything they can possibly know about their real estate market, whether it be a neighborhood, small town, a city, a county, or a segment of the market such as downtown condos. What you choose to know is up to you. So I will say this too, remember that we can't know everything. Like, we can't be perfect. We can't have all the information in our head all the time. It would be impossible, and to believe that we could would keep us frozen in our real estate journey. So what's really important is to know what your resources are, know who to go to.
right, right.
So if a question comes up from a client or a potential client, or even just someone in your sphere asks you a question, remember that age-old statement, I don't know, but I'll find out.
Yeah.
And knowing who to then go to get that information, that makes you look as much like an expert as having it in your own head when you know the right people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Knowing and connecting with your market is all about research and preparation. So generally speaking, you can know market factors on a macro level and a micro level. At the macro level, you'll know what's going on in the city or metropolitan area you live in. On a micro level, on a micro level, sorry, you guys, this is horrible. This is not the best, it's not the best writing that we have. Plus I got 5 hours of sleep. Okay, I'm just saying. I did my taxes last night.
Oh.
You're gonna hone in on the types of markets, important numbers that real estate agents should know about their own market. So, for example, we can know what's happening in Springfield. We can know if businesses are coming in. We can kind of have a general idea of the economy. But like Richard's wanting to do farming, so it's gonna be important for Richard to be able to find out all of the statistics about that neighborhood.
Right.
You know, if that neighborhood has different sections where the homes are selling better or not selling as well. Where over here, you've got a lot of new families coming in and they're remodeling the homes, but over here, you've still got a lot of the older people who have either maintained their home really well, but maybe it's outdated, that it hasn't rolled over yet. I mean, these are things that you will start to learn when you're farming. You want to get really down into that micro level. And that's why we have those neighborhood nurture smart plans. So that's something else that we'll talk a little bit about at some point. Because that, once you start farming a neighborhood, that's a great thing to offer people, is to be part of that smart plan so that they're learning more about their neighborhood as well. And it'll make it easier on you. You can also do a newsletter that's specific to that neighborhood, you know, where you're kind of compiling some of these facts on a micro level and getting it out to them. Oh, let's see. What kinds of markets do you know about already? Anybody? What markets do you know about already? I know that Republic is booming. I don't live there, but I know Amazon came in and I know that they're building new parks and they're building a new rec center and they've got all kinds of new construction, and that's a great place for young families that are buying for the first time. They still have super affordable homes. So, you know, that's one market that I've been kind of keeping an eye on. I also keep a really close eye on my own neighborhood, which is completely the opposite, which is Brentwood. And it's a lot of older homes and older people, but a lot of families coming in. They just decided to shut down Pershing Elementary School. So all those kids are coming over to our school. So that's, you know, so I know about a few areas. What do you guys know about? Know about Nixa?
I know Nixa pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, Nixa's landlocked in many ways. But we do have some building going on. And we do have some resale properties. I think we'll see more this spring. They are really they're really poised for economic development, but there's quite a few challenges with Nixa because of the growth has caused transportation issues. Although there's been a highway widened and opened to Ozark, I think Ozark and Nixa are going to keep their competition on the football field and really work together with economic development. And so I think you're going to continue to see growth to the south.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I live in Nixa, so.
Yeah, yeah. So do you like it?
Yeah, we
I
love it
love
up there.
it. Yeah, we've been there since 1991.
Yeah, that's nice.
So,
Yeah, and I think that they've been making some smart moves as far as like, there used to be one way to get to Nixon.
right.
And now you've got, you know, kind of like six
Few ways,
basically from
yeah.
all the way around.
yeah,
So hopefully they can continue to expand that.
yeah.
And so it can keep growing.
Yep.
What about you, Ann?
I know nothing.
You know nothing?
Oh, you know your
You just said
neighborhood.
there's something new going in Branson.
No, I just said if there's something, you know,
Oh.
that was like a hypothetical situation.
I was like, tell me.
They
some more.
are putting a water park, a new water park in Branson,
Wow.
like a huge.
See, she knows more
Oh,
than I
really?
do. But that's the type of thing I want to
It's not
get
like
to
a
know.
meeting.
I want to know ahead of time now. I don't want to be like, you know,
Yeah.
I lived
Well,
way
so
out in
all
the
of those
country.
things have to get approved. So those city council meetings are a great place to go to find those things out.
Okay.
Yeah, and whenever they're considering changes to, you know, what tax increases do we want to have? Why are they wanting to have them? You know, that'll kind of tell you what's coming. The school board meetings, you know, since 2018, we had a lot of tax hikes so that we could do different things with the Springfield schools. And those board meetings will kind of tell you what's going to shift in each neighborhood.
We were really surprised with the school tax in Nixa this past year.
You were surprised?
Yeah, I wasn't, I mean, it was really high.
Yeah.
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 County taxes
We know
are.
why, but I just thought that was interesting.
Well, it was a reassessment year
Yeah, that's what I heard.
and we had went several years with, wasn't low taxes, but low increase of
Right.
taxes.
Yeah,
And then we got the whammy
yeah, we sure
last year,
did.
so.
They were pretty high already.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We got it in the mail and Matt and I were both like,
Yeah,
Are we reading this right?
yeah,
Like, do we live in Texas? What's
Yeah.
happening?
but Springfield's
That's
Great
higher.
school though.
Springfield's still higher.
You think so?
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't help that, I live in Nixa also, that, it was voted 21st safest city in the country.
Nixa was?
Uh-huh,
Oh, wow.
yeah, and, if you go to Nixa,
Seriously, I have not gone.
they stopped me, the cops had nothing to do. And they stopped me the other day, it was raining, my headlights were off, it was in the middle of the day.
But it was raining.
Right,
Oh.
and, right, they had nothing to
Looking for
do, so they
something to
just
do.
stopped you for nothing. But there is a new development that O'Reilly is building, I don't know if you're familiar with it,
Oh.
of, North Street and Cheyenne. And it's gonna be like Woodlow.
Yeah.
So, but they're really picky, they have to have certain builders only and just like Woodlow. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's gonna,
Oh, yeah, every
I
month,
might
yeah.
get on that.
Something else you can do if you can't go to the meeting, you can get the minutes online
Okay,
with the city council.
yeah, but it'd be
So-
nice to go to meet.
Yeah, yeah.
People and
Yeah.
get-
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I think you'd like it.
yeah. Join the chamber. That's a really good business move
Okay.
to really connect with people. Yeah,
Do you have a business card?
sure,
So I can just keep it in my.
sure.
So there are three types of real estate markets. There's a buyer's market, a balanced market, and a seller's market. So the buyer's market is more than 7 months of inventory, and a balanced market from 5 to 7 months of inventory, and the seller's market is less than 5 months of inventory. So what do you guys think we're in right now?
Seller's market.
what does that mean? Sorry,
I was afraid you were gonna ask, because there's a formula, which of course I don't know how to do, but it's based on the number of homes that are listed on the MLS and how long it would actually take to sell all of those homes.
Oh, okay.
So right now, we are still in a seller's market, but if you've noticed, some homes are starting to sit. So even though we have this super low inventory, they're not selling like they were as quickly, but we're not really yet to a balanced market because of the inventory.
And we're coming out of the holidays.
Yeah, well, and
So it's
and the
always a
interest rates
lull.
have gone down. So I think once we get to spring, we'll really know for sure which market we're in.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see, a shift occurs when the market moves from one market to another. What do you think causes a shift in the market? Some examples include changing interest rates, inflation, economic factors in the community, like a tech company announcing that it's building a campus in town. How can knowing your market help you prepare for any shifts? And is the shift in the market something you can control? Can you prepare for it and shift your tactics? So we just talked about a bunch of those things, right? We just talked about interest rates. I think we all know that we've been dealing with some inflation. We are hopefully on the tail end of a recession. And we've got a lot of businesses coming into the area and a lot of new construction. So, I think that we're experiencing a variety of things that it almost surprises me that we still have so much new construction. But if we're experiencing some of these negative economic factors in our area, imagine what's happening on the coast. And that's why I think we do still have this new construction, because we have people that still want to come here where we're a little bit less effective than they are.
Right.
So as far as can we control the market that we're in? No. Can we prepare for it and shift our tactics? Yes, we can. Inventory is the number of properties for sale within a market. What is the inventory in your market? What is the average number of days a home stays on the market? What is the average price of a home that your market sells for? And based on the inventory, what type of real estate market are you in? So our inventory is still low. When you come to those Monday morning or Tuesday morning meetings, Mike Brown will always let you know like how many homes that we currently have on the market, how quickly they've sold, how many of them went on under contract in one day. And he has really built out this way for you to see the trends very easily. So right now, we definitely still have a low inventory compared to past years. The homes were flying, so they were selling anywhere between 1 and 3 days for a little bit. And now, I mean, we're seeing homes that are sitting on the market 60, I mean, I just put one under contract that's been on the market 95 days, and I put another one on the contract that's been there for 110. So we definitely have homes that are sitting longer.
I think
What
the
is-
average days on market's right around 30.
Right around 30?
Yeah,
Yeah, and we were down somewhere at like 6 or something at one
Yeah.
point.
yeah.
Do you think that's because they're priced too high?
No, it's because of the shift of the market and because of the holidays.
Yeah, and the inventory, or
You're
the
gonna see it
interest rates
shift
going
back
up
a little
for a little bit.
Yeah.
People definitely, when the interest rates went up, buyers became more particular. So they weren't gonna settle. For the most part, homes, I mean, a good listing agent is gonna price the home accurately by using the comparables of the past year. Well, home prices were really high this past year, so they're still gonna be high when they're listed now. But it costs buyers so much more to get their money that they're gonna be more particular when they choose a house, when they negotiate their contract, and when they negotiate inspections. So we're seeing homes sit longer, and we're also seeing more fall throughs than we were. The average price of a home in our area, I think right now, I think we said the other day is around 260, 265.
Correct.
And then based on the inventory, what type of real estate market are we in? We already said we think we're in a seller's market.
So now, aside from Mike in the meetings,
Mhm.
he's telling us all the Springfield numbers. Where can I find the numbers for Branson or
Email us.
Nixa or?
I go to Mike and ask him to help you create a, you can go to reports and you can create a statistical view for a specific area.
Oh, okay,
But do not ask me to help you with that, but he could do that for you.
okay.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
In my experience, you know, the market was crazy. And a lot of people bought homes in the market with a really good interest rates. I'm talking about 3%. I had this client, 3.25% bought the house in Nixa. Well, they got transferred, and they've been there for 2 years, so that means they don't have to pay taxes after 2 years.
Nice.
Not property taxes, but
Capital.
capital gains.
Oh, right.
Thank you. And so whenever they came to sell their homes, they expected the market when I bought the house from there 2 years ago. And I brought comps, and the comps will agree with what he was saying. But I was saying, "Oh, that was 2 years ago, that was last week, this week is not gonna happen." So we bought that house for 185. The comps came with 425.
Holy cow.
He
Good
wanted
for them.
450. So I convinced 425, and I knew it was still, because it was an older home. They did all improvements, but still the subdivision and all that. Say, okay, okay. It's not on the market, and it's not even showings. I think you text me, you had a client that they were looking for something in the twos. Anyway. I don't remember. Anyway, I just sold it for 325.
Oh, really?
We just closed last week.
Okay.
But it took, sometimes you have to say, okay, but
Yeah.
you know, if it doesn't sell in 10 days, we're gonna reduce it. When I say reduce it, it's not gonna be $5,000,
Mhm.
you know? So you just let it run, and they'll see that what you were telling them at the beginning, you were right, but they don't listen, and you, okay, we'll do that your way. So,
So we price it, but the customer
No,
can
this-
say, no, I want this.
We advise
We
based on the
advise, okay.
comparables. The
Okay.
client always prices their own home.
Okay,
right,
okay, that's good.
but it's always your
Sometimes
fault if
they'll
it
take
doesn't
your
sell.
Advice, and sometimes they won't, and you have to let them learn it for themselves.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm. So the market can shift from week to week. It just, you know, I say, watch the news every morning. I love to watch the local and national news. Whenever we talk about real estate, my ear is like, oh, okay, I don't hear this one. And post on Facebook of what's going on. And then your own business, you'll know that, I mean, that house, if, you know, I probably would have gotten $350 out of the house if it was priced right since the beginning, but he wouldn't let me, so.
You know, another great tactic, especially when you're new and you've got some free time on your hands, your schedule's not as busy yet as far as like your actual work hours and the time you're invested into your work, is to go and preview homes. You know, either pick a neighborhood or pick a price point, or do it like a variety. Like maybe you'll pick five different homes and 5 different price points, but go preview those homes and then watch them. Like keep an eye on them, see how long they're staying on the market. You know, what factors if they're staying on the market a while, what factor do you think played into it? Do you think it was the price? Was it the condition? Was there something about the location? Was it the neighbor? You know, and that will help you start to build your knowledge so that when it's time for you to do comparables yourself, you'll have a little bit more insight into it. Okay, so this says interest rates and lender regulations. Interest rates and lender regulations play important roles in the status of your market. As interest rates rise, buying power starts to dip because affordability decreases. So not only does it, like when I say that it costs more money for buyers to buy, it's their spending power that I'm talking about. So if they had seen a house for $325 at a 3% interest rate, their payment's going to be here. That same house for $325 at a 6% interest rate, their payment's going to be here. So, you know, when we first started to shift into that crazy market, as everyone likes to call it, we saw buyers who had been looking and they had a certain price point they were looking at. They couldn't get the home, because there was so much competition. Well, then the interest rate started to rise and they thought they were pre-qualified for this amount, but now they're not qualified for that anymore because it's going to throw their payment higher. And depending on their income and their debt that they have, they may no longer qualify for that. So that's why buyers started to get more particular, because their buying power went down. Paying attention to lender regulations can help agents get a feel for where the market is heading. If lenders are changing their policies, they should be signaling that a market shift is on the way or already here. So for those of you who are in the market, what have you seen change with lending institutions? Have you noticed anything that they're changing?
Some of them are offering incentives. American National Mortgage, that's very closely related with Keller Williams, has some real aggressive programs for buyers, so you'll want to connect with them possibly. That's
And
one
Missouri Bank
resource.
over here too has got some new programs coming in.
So they're really trying to, there was even some banks that were offering refinance at no charge. So if you go into a loan at 6% right now, with the hope that things are going to settle and the mortgage rates are going to come down, if they do come down, then you can refinance wherever it makes sense. Maybe 2% less would make sense. And you don't have to pay any fees, which saves you on average probably $2,000 to $3,000 with a lender.
Right.
So stuff like that, lenders are trying to.
So one of the things that we first saw, before we saw these incentives, we saw that the underwriters were really cracking down.
That's true.
They were making it really, really difficult. They were very stringent. So
Yes.
you might get a pre-approval on somebody and then they were really nitpicking every single thing about that person's debt, their income, their, how long have they been employed, things about the house that we maybe didn't see before, like this has to get fixed, even on conventional loans versus government loans, because they really started to get strict on things. But then because of that, you've already got less people wanting to buy, and now it's gonna be harder for them to buy because of underwriting, so they had to start offering these incentives so that they could try to get more people in the door,
Yeah,
so that you've got a better chance of having people actually close.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, relationship with a lender goes a long way too, because, just over coffee,
Yeah,
they know their underwriting department. They, they'll be transparent with you because they want your business. They're looking to build relationship with realtors to get more business. And so, just look and cultivate those relationships. And that way you can give your buyer, maybe 3 choices, but all 3 choices, you're very aware of their policies and procedures. And so not only does that help you, but it helps your buyer.
and lenders love to take time out of their schedule to meet with you and teach you things. Because honestly, the more educated the realtor is, the better the transaction, the more smooth it's going to be. When I first started, there would be things that the lender would require, and I would get so frustrated because I didn't really understand why they needed the things that they needed, or the timeliness of things, the order of events. And we would get down to the very end and I'd be so stressed out because all of a sudden we need this. But the more I educated myself and the more I went out and had coffee and lunches with lenders, the more I understood the process. And I got to understand that different lenders have different programs. So it's really important to have several people. One, we have to at least refer 3. We can't just refer to one lender. So we need to make sure we have several good people in our pocket, but also making sure that maybe you've got different lenders from different types of institutions that will be able to offer different programs. That way your buyer can find what works for them. We also have Keller Mortgage, which we talked about on day 1. Keep these partners in mind as a great resource to help you navigate these complicated numbers. What are the current mortgage interest rates in your area? What does this tell us about the current market, and market that would be a valuable, oh my gosh, guys, I can't read today. The current interest rates in our area, does anybody know what the rate is today?
Who knows?
Today, I don't, I haven't looked at it, but it's been hovering around 6 to 6.5 with the
Hey, and
lenders,
this is-
with the lenders that I use.
This is what I tell people, because you never know, you don't wanna say a rate and then
No.
they don't get it. So I say, well, depends, I can't tell you, depends on your credit and how many years you wanna buy the house. 30 or 15 years, because they're all different. So I say, and that's when you give them 3 lenders, you might call them and probably in 3 lenders, it'll be 3 different rates and just shop around.
I have a question. So someone gets pre-approved and then they start looking for a house, then they find it. When does the interest rate get locked in?
So
Closing or sometime
the first thing that happens is they get pre-qualified.
qualified?
So a lot of people will use those 2 terms interchangeably, but really before they go out and start looking for homes, typically the most that a lender is going to do is pre-qualify them. So they're going to have you fill out the application. They're going to just take your word for what the facts are, right? They're not going to do any digging or research themselves yet. So that's why you're pre-qualified based on the information you've provided. Then you go out and you find a home and you're put under contract. And then the lender has a certain number of days to provide you with the disclosures around your financing, and then to have that signed and lock in your rate. So it typically happens within like 1 to 3 days, I would say is kind of the average.
Usually
get
whenever
locked
you
in.
send it, they're a sign offer, that's when they start working on it.
That's when
Yeah,
the,
and then they'll start working on the actual pre-approval, because they'll send things to their underwriter. They'll ask for the actual documentation of what they shared. So they may have told you, I make this much money, I've been in my job this long, I have these debts. But then they'll say, okay, now we need the documentation of that. And the underwriters will start verifying, and that's when the approval happens. The approval typically will not happen until
3 weeks.
3, yeah. If you've got a 30-day close, you're probably not gonna see approval until
Yeah,
that last week sometime.
Okay.
yeah.
If you've got a longer closing period, you may have a little bit more of a leeway on the end, but
Yeah.
usually about 3 weeks in.
As soon as you go under contract, they'll lock in the rate,
Okay,
usually for 60 days.
right.
And that's plenty of time to,
So if the interest rate, let's say we're, for some reason were to go down drastically, do people go, oh, whoa,
No,
whoa, wait a minute, we
no.
wanna go back and
no, they're pretty well locked,
they're pretty well
locked
locked in?
into what the rate was. It's very difficult and most lenders won't reverse
Mhm,
and give you a new rate just because it changed while you were under contract.
okay,
Yeah. Yeah, you're locked in to the rate.
right, okay.
Yeah, and they tell you that up front.
For better or for worse.
Yeah, for better or for worse.
Don't do a pre-approval where they check all the documentation before you go shopping.
It can be
You can,
done.
yeah.
It can be done. And
Yeah.
there are some lenders that prefer to operate that way.
Mhm.
And honestly, if your buyer, I would say that it almost has more to do with buyer patience.
Yes.
Are the buyers patient enough to go through that entire approval process before they even start looking? Or most of them aren't. They're like, I went to the bank and now I want to look at houses. So it's awesome if they're already pre-approved, because then when you submit an offer, and if there's other offers that have also been submitted, yours is gonna be really strong when you've got a buyer who's fully approved already.
Mhm.
It's just, it's not commonplace, unfortunately, and it's also just a matter of the lender has so many files
Mm,
that they're really wanting to work on the ones that they've got a contract
Yeah.
on,
Mhm.
to get to that approval.
mhm.
But there's that is one of the incentives that some banks I've seen using. Hey, let's go ahead and get your people fully approved so
Mhm.
that your offers are more likely to be accepted.
Mhm.
What about online mortgages and stuff?
Personally, aside obviously from the wonderful Keller Mortgage.
This is my experience. I have to tell you the thing. Other land, or if you are buying house for a buyer and you're competing against other buyers, I'm gonna see what kind of loan they have.
Mhm.
And if they have an online Mickey Mouse loan, I'm gonna
Well, what
say,
about Quicken loans? They're not Mickey Mouse.
Well, and neither is Rocket, but
Right.
the thing is they will pre-qualify quickly.
Mickey Mouse.
And so a lot of realtors that you work with, they're gonna tell you up front, can you get a local bank to pre-qualify?
Okay,
It'd be
Because
harder.
that's gonna be a lot stronger
okay.
to work against this other offer that I've got coming in.
I don't want to name any names of companies, but I will tell you the reason that most of us want to work with local is one, we may already have a relationship with them. We may already have an idea of how they operate, but typically those bigger companies in the sky, it's really hard to communicate with them.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really hard to get somebody on the phone
That
and
makes
help
sense.
walk you through
Sometimes.
any struggles that
Yeah.
may be going on.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
And they pre-qual quickly because they know that they're not held to it.
If
It's
you have a
standard
problem,
that's
they can
very
solve it a lot
broad.
faster.
And they're just,
Yeah, so
it's kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks.
Yeah.
That's their
Yeah.
kind of way of doing things.
yeah,
Like,
They've
they'll
got
just
nothing to
throw
lose.
all these pre-quals out there and a few of them will stick. You know,
Yeah.
because they've got, whereas a local lender is gonna have less coming in. They're gonna wanna make sure that what they actually are qualifying is strong,
yeah.
you know?
One of the lenders I use, Great Southern locally, they're running 6.125 with no points,
No points.
30 years
It's really good.
fixed, yeah. So just, you were asking what it was locally. I hadn't
Yeah.
looked.
Great Southern seems to run a little bit lower.
They do.
Mhm. And yet I've only ever done one
Oh, you need to meet Kevin.
big heaven.
So if a potential
Kevin Hanks.
buyer goes out on their own and locates an online mortgage company and they want to use it?
They
do
wanna
we
use it?
steer them away from that?
Typically, I try not to discourage them from using the company that they've already chosen because it's not my choice. But I will still send them, hey, listen, it's been my experience that when I work with a local lender, we have better communication, we have stronger, you know, we have a smoother process, it's a stronger qualification. And would you be interested in shopping? You know, it's in their best interest to shop and to figure out who can offer them the best program. So I will typically ask them if they're willing and interested to talk to a few local lenders. And usually they do, because they want to connect too. You know, they don't really have a connection to this person in the sky that they're never gonna lay eyes on and that they probably haven't even gotten to talk to.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to feel like they're being taken care of. So a lot of times when a local lender starts talking with them, they're gonna
Could you
connect with
potentially
somebody.
find an online person that would take as good care of you as a bank, local bank?
Potentially.
Potentially.
Mhm.
My struggle is working with other realtors.
Oh,
With the
because you're
with the
doing-
online, with the online, pre-quals. That's been my struggle, and so basically the same thing you just said. And I remind them that they've got a 30-day window to go to multiple lenders and shop, and it won't affect their credit score
Right.
at all.
Right.
And so, and you can still use your online lender after we get under contract. But if you're also approved through a local lender, we might be a little bit more competitive with our offer.
Yeah, that's a good tactic.
So,
It's more than likely they're gonna end up with they're gonna connect with somebody.
yeah.
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 Economic factors play an important role in the agent's understanding of the market. What is the unemployment rate in your market? How many workers are entering and exiting the workforce in your market? What is the growth rate of your community? And has the government made any changes to rules and regulations that might affect the housing market? So on a national level, and even on a global level, you know, when you can refer back to that Keller Williams economic update that came out at Mega Camp and will come out again in February. Because they cover all of that, but then you can also get this information when you're going to things like the city council meetings, and they're gonna be offering an economic update as well for our local areas. Other important market factors to investigate are neighborhood numbers, so nearby shops and restaurants, nearby health facilities, nearby attractions. So for those of you who are wanting to farm, not only getting to know about the statistics of the houses themselves, but also what's in the area around it that would draw people into that neighborhood. Any ahas from this first section?
A lot of good information. A lot.
I would interject to all you guys that are just starting out. It is a ton of information that you're gonna get. And you're going to feel like you can't get started until you've processed through all that information. Write your first contract. You'll learn more through the process. And all of these things will start to make sense. They'll start to connect. You'll begin to put together systems. Everybody's here to help you. So just write your first contract, open the door, and then you're forced to learn. And you'll be glad you did. And that's how you'll learn along the way.
All right.
I agree. I really think we try so hard to prepare before.
Well, so much
To learn things
information.
that we really can't learn until we're doing.
Yeah.
We really can't learn it until we're doing it.
Yeah,
You know, you
right,
can kind of have a general sense of things, but
right.
you got to get into that nitty gritty.
Yeah.
I agree
Yeah.
100%.
So we're not in a balanced market. We're in a seller's market or buyer's market?
We're still in a seller's market
Okay.
because we have low inventory of homes.
Right.
Yeah, so even though the interest rates are higher than they were, they're actually historically right on average,
Yeah.
you know?
Right.
What's the average?
So over the last 50 years, it's been, I think the average is 8 or 9.
Oh, 8 or 9.
So we're
Oh,
still
I thought it was
quite a
the high
bit,
6.
I think we're still quite a bit under
There we go. So
for a 50-year average, but I'll have to double check. that.
perception is that we're high because we just came out of these super low numbers. And we do have buyers who have hesitated because of that. But that has not yet put us into a buyer's market because we still have such low inventory. We won't be more balanced until there's more inventory on the market. So building our expertise, become the real estate expert of choice. Once you know your market and are familiar with the important numbers, it's time to begin building your expertise. Part of educating your buyers and sellers is becoming the local expert. Numbers are just the first step. Understanding, interpreting, and applying the numbers of your market to your lead generation and lead follow-up conversations are equally important. What are some of the ways that you've already been building your expertise on a market level? Does anybody feel that they've been building their expertise, or are we just sort of still in the gathering information phase?
Well, we're building our expertise by being here, but
Right.
that's a lot of information gathering.
A lot of information, yeah.
Changing all the time, so you constantly have to be aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
Mhm.
To correct myself, with a statistic you can find online, it's 7.74% from 1971 to 2024.
That is a great social media post that you could make today.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
What is that again? Tell me. That's the interest rate?
That's the
Yeah,
average
the
interest
average
rate.
Oh, yeah.
30-year fixed interest
We're
rate
still below
on homes
historic average.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
since
Yeah.
1971
Oh, yeah.
has been
We've all just been spoiled here for the
7.74%.
last few years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So think about a creative way that you could put that into a social media
I
post.
like that. Yeah.
Let's look at 4 steps you can take to start building your expertise right now. Learn the market, learn your clientele, listen to individuals, and keep the headlines in context. I think that last one is going to be really important because we hear a lot of things on the news and on social media.
Mhm.
And especially with social media, well, both, if you're watching the national news or you're on social media, you're not always seeing things that are true about our market here. And so be careful what you regurgitate from someone else who may not be in your market.
Mhm.
And I think, clickbait and negativity tend to sell more than positivity. So you're gonna see a lot of those things on social media. Know your lore, language of real estate, and know your business. Notice changes over time in your personal business. It all starts with the language of real estate, also known as lore. Know how your market is moving and how to communicate this to buyers and sellers. Ask yourself if there are signs of the market picking up or slowing down. It's also important to track the numbers and reports from your market center. So again, Mike Brown. How do your local numbers and their changes compare to the national market, and how are things flowing? It's important to be very focused on potential changes that seem to be more than seasonality or normal flow. So when we're talking about shifts in the market, we're not talking about the normal cycle that happens throughout the year because of the season. So,
Right.
we may tend to dip in December and pick up in
Mhm.
March.
Right.
But when we're talking about a shift, we're really talking about a greater change
Yeah.
that's happening overall.
Yeah.
Transactions and prices tend to be higher in the summer, while market inventory typically slows down in the winter. Market fluctuations outside of this scope can indicate changes are coming. Discuss the lead measures to watch for to predict big market changes. As you track the bigger market, track your own business as well. When you use Command to track your leads, appointments, and transactions, you're able to notice trends as well. These will help you analyze your market and notice any changes over time in your business. So I actually went back and looked at my multi-year trends to see how I normally fare in December and January. And until this year, and I think it's honestly, I let it get in my own head. And maybe it's just because it's so cold. But my January has actually always been a very busy month for me. It's always been a high volume month for me because In the beginning, I think I would hear people say, oh, it's a slow time, and I'd be like, that's a challenge, you know? This year, I think I let them talk me into that. But that's something to keep in mind, like, our business does not have to be affected by the seasonality or the market. How hard you work, the things that you learn, the expert you become, the conversations you have, the people you surround yourself with, that's gonna be more important to your business than a cycle or a market shift is gonna be. So you really can't let those things get into your head. Because it's so easy to believe what everyone else is saying. When we talked about all the people who are leaving the market, because they're believing everything they're hearing instead of believing, I can work through that. I can overcome that challenge. I can, maybe I have to lead generate just a little bit more. Maybe I have to do more open houses than I did before. Maybe I have to talk to more people. You know, you may have to work a little harder, but it doesn't mean your business has to reflect what's happening.
So our brains have a negative bias.
Yeah.
We listen to,
Yeah.
you know, well, it's like if someone says something negative to you, you know, I forget what it's either 8 or 10 positive things it
Yeah.
takes
To
to
overturn.
overcome one negative.
Yeah.
So our brains are just geared towards the negative bias. So when we hear something negative, we're like, oh, that's true.
Yeah.
You know, we hear something positive, well, you know, I don't know, but.
Which is why Jennifer hates social media, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
People throwing that out there. You got more people saying the negative than you have saying the positive.
Yeah.
There's just so
So
much
that's how,
information.
that's just another way we can,
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
really
it's
want to
overload.
hear what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
I don't.
she just wants to watch her show.
What show are you watching?
6 Feet Under.
Oh.
It's an older one.
Jennifer and I have been friends for 20 years.
No way.
Yeah.
Did you bring her into
I
Callaway?
did.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I mean, kinda. She actually came to me and I was like, yes, come.
Love it. That's great.
Okay, so learning your clientele. Who are the buyers? Who are the sellers? Does the market benefit your clients? And does the market put your clients at risk? As you are monitoring the numbers in your market, ask yourself who might benefit from current and future trends and who might be at risk. So that kind of goes back to what I was just talking about. If we educate ourselves, if we see a shift or there's a seasonality, as opposed to seeing that in a negative way, look for who can benefit from that. So for example, when it's December and January and less people are wanting to get out and look and less people are wanting to move during that time, maybe because of the holidays, do you have a buyer who could benefit from that? Benefit from having less competition, benefit from the fact that homes are gonna sit a little longer right now because of the fact that less buyers are looking? Could this be the time for them to win the offer that they couldn't win before, or to even be able to go in at a lower price point because that house has been sitting a little while? So you really got to look at it from a different perspective and figure out, okay, if this is the trend that we're seeing, it may affect this group of people in this way, but what's the positive way that it could affect this group of people? Notice any trends in what people are saying to you. New objections might come into the picture while others aren't as important all of a sudden. Recognizing patterns is key to building your expertise. Ebbs, flows, and shifts of the market can be great for different types of clients. A shift might be a great time for investors or those with cash looking to move into a neighborhood. Know who could benefit from the changes you're noticing in your market's numbers. Keep this in mind when it comes to the lead generation and lead follow-up that we will cover in the next sections of this course. Listen to individuals. Take a grassroots approach. Learn where your sphere gets information and be present. So one of the things that I love to ask, which I feel like is it's not something that's going to cause offense, is when people tell me information, I'll say, tell me where you heard that. Tell me where you read that. I'd love to check out that resource. Because then that's an opportunity for me to go to that resource and find out, is this legitimate information? Is this information that's actually true to our area? And then it's an opportunity to go back to that person for another touch, right? I can give them another phone call and say, hey, thank you so much for sharing that resource with me. I took a little dive into it, and here's some of the things that I found out. And then it's an opportunity too, that you can go and find the right information for them and get that to them and change their mindset in a healthy way.
In
a healthy way.
Yeah.
Go to where your people are. Talk with the people who are learning about the market, your clients and potential clients, and chat with them. And more importantly, listen to them. The knowledge they provide could be very helpful for you as you make sense of the market, and as importantly, what your clients think of the market. As you make sense of the market, it's just as important that you listen and understand what your client thinks of the market. For example, many people may be saying, interest rates keep going up, so I better buy now. Or my neighbor's house hasn't sold, so I'm going to hold off selling mine because the market is just not good right now. Explain that, oh, I'm supposed to explain to you. Listening to individuals is a great excuse to reach out and follow up. This all underlines a key point: be there. So we've talked a lot the last couple of days about being top of mind. So be where the people are. So whatever you're interested in, make sure that you're spending time there. You know, if you've got a kid who's in sports, show up to their event, meet the other parents, talk to people. If you like to go to workout classes, go to workout classes. If you like to be in the chamber, go to the chamber. Networking groups, whatever's already fun for you that you already like to do, church or Bible studies or life groups. You know, those are places where you have the opportunity to talk with people and share what you know. Liliana, what were you gonna say?
I want to give a good example. I did an open house in a really Forest Park, you know, upscale neighborhood, and this couple from India, the grandmother and the little kid came in. They loved the house, and I usually try to be really nice to the older people and the little kids, so they like you. Anyway, I wrote a thank you card. I went to People Search, and they were like, how did she get our address? Anyway, he called me like 2 days after. He says, hey, I was wearing my phone and I lost it. I said, oh no, let me go to the house and walk at it and see if I can find it. I'm like, oh. So I went to the house. Well, it was an empty house. I locked it, and when I called him back, he says, we found it at the house. I'm like, darn it, well, I'm glad you have it because it's not here. I'm glad you have it. I sold it in a $700,000 house. So any little excuse that you go for contribution, use it.
Extra mile.
Yeah.
She could have just as easily have said, no, I didn't see it, but
Yeah.
she was willing to be
I went
there,
to the
right?
house.
And that benefited both of them.
Yeah.
And they could tell from the type of person she was, if she was willing to go above and beyond to do something that simple, what would she do during their transaction? Let's see.
good.
Tell the story about the agent who, when he was starting in business, wore a shirt that advertised his business. People would see his shirt and say to him, oh, you're in real estate. How's the market? And he would always respond, the market is great. Why do you ask? Explain to participants that anyone they meet is a potential client, and responding to inquiries about their business with proactive language will get people talking and make the participant one step closer to earning new business. So instead of honestly, like instead of feeling like you've got to regurgitate all the information, you know, like having to know all the facts, know everything about the market. Market's great. Why do you ask? Find out more about them. What's important to them about the market? What do they really want to know about the market? They may not, you could be like, the market is, and they didn't care about any of that, right? They just want to know if it's a good time to buy or sell for them or for someone that they know. Well, that's all based on their circumstances. So ask a lot of questions and get to know what's important to them. Get to know your people. Keep the headlines in context. Read past the headline and know your numbers. As you learn your market and your clientele, be aware that headlines can be persuasive. They're designed to be, right? The purpose of a headline is to draw you into the story, and the story will typically delve a little deeper and give you a jumping off point for seeing if there are similar shifts, numbers, and trends in your market. Where do you suspect that buyers and sellers are getting their information? Social media, the news, the local paper, their friends? I don't think we even have a paper anymore. Once you figure out where your clients get their information, read what they read and see if you can help them expand their understanding. We just talked about that. Didn't even read this yet. Always
so
pay
good.
attention to your local MLS and stay on top of what's happening in your market. Your clients rely on you to put the market in context for them. So again, going back to that, we talked about the MLS report section. You can build a statistical view of anything you want to. A single neighborhood, you can draw a map, you can put in another town, you can do a zip code. So whatever area you want to be the expert in, you can build these statistics. So every day you can be checking that. Any ahas?
I think that's a great line. The market is great. Why do you ask? So simple, so easy to bring you into a conversation.
Also like the, just the encouragement, we don't have to be victims of whatever the market is doing.
That's so good.
We are at the helm of our ship.
Yeah. Yeah. And for every negative, you kind of covered this. For everything negative happening to one person in the market creates an opportunity for someone else.
Exactly.
But we have to be focused in our business for looking for opportunities and not getting pulled down into the trap of what's happening that's negative.
Right. And that's why it's
What you
important
said.
to
Yeah.
try to build a diverse clientele, try to build a diverse sphere of people that you spend time with. If you only spend time with a certain type of people, well, if it's not a great time for them, then yeah, your business might suffer. But if you've got diversity in your business, then it may not be great for them, but you know you've got another group that this could be the perfect market for them.
Yeah, that's good.
Utilize your resources. Okay, you know how to build your expertise and your knowledge of your market. Now let's explore some tools to help you. Oh, good. Your Keller Williams app will help you connect with your market. Okay, has everybody downloaded the app? Is everybody? You won't be able to have one yet for you.
Yeah.
Or who's not, just the two of you are not onboarded yet, right? So you guys won't have the app, but soon you'll all have access to the app. There's the Keller Williams app and there's the Command app. And you can send your app that will be customized to you. It will have your name and all your contact information, and you can text it to anyone and they can download it. And then every time they want to search anything in real estate, and even if it's not here, you're going to be top of mind because it's going to have your face on it. Okay, so get your app in front of as many people as possible. If you're at an open house, one of the tricks I like to use, people want to be so prepared at their open house and they have all these things that they've printed and laid out, for people to pick up. I don't take anything because I will have my disclosures available in an email. I will have a QR code that will take them to my website. I'll say, hey, let me send you my app. So that way, one, I have to get their phone number or their email to do that. So now I've got their phone number and their email. And I'll typically say, now, hold on, I want to make sure I'm sending this to the right person. Can you tell me your name? And then I've got the 3 pieces of information that I need for their database. And I've sent everything out to them digitally. Now, my excuse that I give them is, I'm really cautious and careful with things that I do in the environment. And I just found that I threw so many things away. And that's my way of getting their info.
So on the app there, it has a QR code. So if someone does the QR code, will you get their information?
So I think like the long game, but no, I don't think so. I think what
Yeah,
happens with the
or the-
QR code is that your info gets
Right.
saved into their phone, because it's your business card and it actually saves your info into their phone.
Mhm.
And then separately is the link to the app.
Yeah,
So you got two different buttons there that you can push.
so it's better to say, oh, can I have your phone number? I'll send you, yeah, okay.
That's what I do. You gotta handle it in the right way, but yeah, don't be weird.
Asking for people's information is,
Well, because typically they're asking you for something, right? They'll come in and they'll say, do you have the info sheet? And I'll say, I don't, but I can text it to you. And so I'll, or I'll say like, I've got this printed QR code, whatever it may be. I try to have one thing that I can only text to them, and I have one thing that has to be emailed. So disclosures, I typically have to email, so I'll have it already downloaded and in my email, so I can just forward it onto the people. And then the other thing has to be texted, and that's my excuse to get both. If they ask me for the info sheet, I'll say, here, let me text it to you. And then if they, and then I'll say, would you also like the disclosures? And they're like, oh, yeah. And then I'll email them the disclosures. Then I've got their info. So it doesn't work on everybody. Some people are like, oh, no, thanks.
yeah.
So I don't know if this is real estate or not. I did events in the past and this was something that did work. Is it like at open houses? Like the welcoming baskets we have up there, could you sit one of those out and have like a little form to get their name, number, address, and somebody wins? Like, we'll get that, is that?
So we can't do anything that's considered enticement. So we
Okay.
can't do anything that would be, in order to win this, you have to come to my open house.
Well, it would be like while they're there, like for people that are
That's-
there, hey, enter in,
And
I want to get, so I can.
I see a lot of people doing contests, and it's
Okay.
definitely a gray area, and you'd want to go to somebody upstairs, probably Mike, and say, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
Can I do this? And if not, what could I tweak that would make it possible to do it?
Okay.
I personally have just gotten so scared off of it that I just don't do anything.
Okay.
So I don't want to mess up. Yeah, so we just have to be careful not to, we cannot imply that in order to get something, they have to come to the open house or they have to buy the house. Yeah, and that's just in Missouri. That's not everywhere. That's just our Missouri state law. Yeah. I'm sure you could come up with something. If you haven't already, take out your smartphone and download the app. Oh, we just talked about that. Okay.
Yeah.
What are some of the ways that you're already using the apps to help your business? So again, we have the Keller Williams app that is more like a search engine for your clients. And then we have the Command app that is becoming more and more functional. It has more and more of the things that we can do online. So we have Command Online, which has all these things. And when we first got the app, we could only do a couple of things. Now we can do a lot more. But you can use your app you're going to be able to start to like build your designs and do your email campaigns. You can do everything from your phone. So you could be sitting anywhere. If you're waiting for a client for 30 minutes outside of a house, you could be building your email campaign or, working your lead generation in some way. So over time, our apps are going to get better and better because that's what we do. We're a technology company. Your integrated end-to-end Keller Cloud platform for running and growing your business. That is what we call Command. Command is a single platform for agents that can help them with everything from lead generation to database management, organizing necessary tools in one spot. At the same time, the KW app developed to complement Command is streamlining the home buying and selling process and connecting agents and consumers like never before. Keller Williams is cutting edge in how we approach the real estate market. Further explain that, the Keller Williams app is the consumer-facing tool that connects consumers to the agent. It works in tandem with Command, which is designed for agent use.
Does the app only show Keller Williams listed homes?
No,
Okay.
no, it is just like Zillow or Realtor, it's all integrating in from
I'm
the
just trying to get a
MLS.
search set up for myself,
Mhm.
just to check every now and again.
If you go to the app, you go to the little triangle. Like when I'm with a client or I'm in an open house, you go to the app. And you go to that triangle and tells you that it knows where you are.
Oh, yeah.
And it's gonna show you all the houses around. So if I'm talking to somebody and I say, hey, what are you looking for? And they say, well, 4 bedroom, three bathrooms, but this house is only 3. I said, well, let me see what's around. And if I show you what's around, I said, did you like that? You can wait for me after I close the open house at 4, whatever, I can show you. They'll become your client. When they
That's
wait
good.
for you,
That is really good.
yeah. So, hey, take you Sunday, I go and show them houses. Yeah,
That's
so
good.
this is fantastic.
I was trying to set up a search and they didn't have waterfront as a filter field.
Did they have lakefront or lake view? But on the MLS, they'll have lakefront and lake view.
Right.
I don't know. I've never tried searching that on the app.
Seems like it would be an important thing not to miss, but maybe I was doing it wrong. Nicole can help me with that, probably, right?
Yeah, and if you find out, let the rest of us know.
Is the Keller Williams app real-time like Flex?
I believe so.
There's no delay?
I think there used to be a delay and I think they've corrected that.
Okay, that's something that you guys need to know is when you set up your client a search, it's unlike Zillow or Trulia or some of these other platforms that are out there. They get their feed from MLS. So there can be anywhere from a 24 to a 72-hour delay. And what you want to do for your client is you want to set them up real time so that the properties they're interested in, especially when the market was moving the way it was, and it will get back to that because we've got limited inventory, and they need to know as quick as you know when something that fit their criteria is on the market, and they'll even be sent an email. Does Keller Williams app do that, or do we have to use Flex?
So I still do mine through Flex and I
I
think
do
most
too.
agents do. What I would do is honestly, I would use that to my benefit and I would say, hey, download my app. This is your search engine now. You don't have to use, Realtor or Zillow.
Right.
This is, and I would say, this is gonna update more quickly than those will, but it is still updating from the MLS, so there might be a little delay. If you see a home you're interested in, let me know so I can look it up directly on the MLS. Then they're gonna have to reach out to you. So you can use that in a positive.
Does it send an
way.
email to them every time a new
I
home
think
comes on the
it
market?
alerts them on the app, like it gives them a notification. If they set up a search on
Okay.
the app, it'll give
Okay.
them a notification.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
that's-
then that way,
that's
and
good.
then, but I would still encourage them, make
Yeah.
sure you reach out to me so
Yes.
I can go directly to the MLS and make sure.
Yeah,
And then you've got another reason to communicate with them.
yeah, good.
Oh, let's see. The biggest value of this technology, which is available to Keller Williams agents and teams at no additional cost, is cutting down on expenses that can cripple profitability. So what they tried to do with Command, and this is why we pay a technology fee every month, is because most of the time agents had to go out and pay for a database. They'd have to go out and pay for some kind of design software if they wanted to do their flyers and their emails. They'd have to pay for somewhere to send out their campaigns. And a lot of times, these were all different places and they were all different subscriptions. They've brought everything together into one platform for one fee, and they've done it at a very reasonable cost.
Yeah.
Teams face lower operational expenses. They can reinvest their dollars into building their business and delivering an exceptional consumer experience. Even more, the participants can increase efficiency while keeping agents at the heart of each and every transaction. Command can assist with lead generation, automating workflow, managing transactions, customizing reports, enhancing customer service, and making better business decisions. It is one of the best ways to know and connect with your market and will be an essential tool in your real estate career. Participants will learn more about Command and all of its business enhancing and time-saving features throughout Ignite. Command is also where you're going to, we have compliance. So as you work your way through a transaction, you're gonna have all of these documents that are associated with your transaction. You're gonna be uploading those into Command. And that's where compliance is looking to check that, make sure that everything is accurate. If it's not, they're gonna let you know through Command. You're gonna get a notification that says, hey, this document needs this, or this needs an initial over here, or you missed a date down here, so that you have the opportunity to go back and fix it. It's also where you can manage the transaction itself, and you put your commissions in and get paid through Command. Help participants download the app. Does anybody need help downloading the app? From the App Store or Google Play, search Keller Williams Real Estate, download and open. Touch the drop-down menu button in the upper left, scroll to profile and log in as the agent using your KW Connect credentials. To share your app with others, touch the Share App button on the front screen. Is this in your participant guides to reference
No.
back to?
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not. Okay, so for our reference later, in case we need it, this is page 31. The slides in section 3. We'll come back to that if we need to. The KW app is the last piece of the Keller Williams technology ecosystem. It is the consumer-facing counterpart that connects the consumer to the agent. For the consumer, your Keller Williams app is a unique experience because they can personalize their app through collections, save searches, saving homes, hiding homes, etc. Those customer insights are visible inside Command. Oh, so that's an important thing I forgot to mention. So in your database, when you open up a contact, on the left-hand side, you have all of their information that you filled in. So their address, their email, their neighborhood that they live in. There's a number of fields that you fill in, and the more things you have filled in, the higher your health score for that client, and that's in your report. So we're able to see like, ooh, I've only got a 69 on that person. I must be missing something. And then you know, I've got to figure out a way to get that information, such as, hey, I'm trying to build my newsletter. Can I get your email? So this offers you that opportunity to see what's missing and get those touches out there. But on the right-hand side, everything they're doing in the app is showing up in the notes. So you can say, oh, they looked at this house, oh, they looked at this house. And that's another reason to reach out. Hey, I saw you looked at this house 4 times. Is that a house you want to see? What's going on with that? You know, keep it natural. And that's how I do it. I keep everything natural. But you know, that's an easy way to reach out. They're obviously interested in it. How can I be of service? Would you like to go see that house? What did you like about it? You looked at it 4 times, but you haven't called me. Is there something that's sticking out that you don't like about this house? It's just one more way to get to know your client really, really well. Okay, does anybody want to take a picture of this? It has kind of some of the instructions. I think it's the same. Yeah, take a picture of that. Okay, oh, here's our social media. Establish your business on social media, a part of your success system. So again, our success system is our 10 conversations, our 10 handwritten cards, adding 10 people to your database, doing your 10-5-1 in social media, and your enrichment activities. So we're going to start talking a little bit here about this 10-5-1. Your daily success system includes the activity to complete a 10-5-1 social media engagement plan. And I know you love the word plan. 10-5-1 system involves the participants liking 10 posts. Okay, so here we go. Like 10 posts. So remember how I said, you can just do it on your feed. If you want it, if you love your feed and it has all the people on it that you want to see, just scroll through it and like their posts. If you want your algorithm to change and you want to see new people, go to the people's pages that you want to see and go to the first post and like it. Okay, that's how you can change your algorithm. Write 5 comments and send 1 direct message.
Wait a minute, say what you said again. The part about
10.
changing your algorithm. What do you do?
So your algorithm is based on your activity and your
Sure.
engagement.
No, so what was the specific?
If you want to change your algorithm, if you want to see something different on your news feed, you have to be proactive and go out and do it. So if I want to see different people, like for example, if Jen's not showing up on my news feed and I'm like, I want to see more of Jen, I have to go directly to her page.
Oh,
And I've got to look at her stuff and I've got to like it and I've got to comment on it. So now
Okay.
Jen's going to start coming up.
okay,
Or if I send her a direct message, she's going to start coming up on my news feed.
okay.
So
Thank you.
this plan can help you to make sure you're getting in front of more of the people that you want to get in front of by liking 10 posts a day. So here's the key. Don't go like 10 posts every day from the same 10 people, right? Mix it up, mix it up. You can go to your friend list and it'll stay in order. So you can do 10 and the next day do 10, the next day do 10. If you don't want to see people's stuff, don't. Just skip over them. Okay, then
Make sure
write,
you know what you're
Fine.
liking too. Don't just like it.
right, don't just like it, read it, yeah, exactly. Write 5 comments. So if you go to a post, so like here, so you've liked 5, right? Now, or I'm sorry, you've liked 10. On 10 of those, is there something that you could say? Sometimes it's a post and you're like, you can't even think of anything that wouldn't be awkward to write. But most of the time you can say, oh, and I've heard it has to be, they don't say this here, but I've heard it has to be at least 5 words. So don't just say, love it, heart, like you gotta draw it out. You gotta really say something of significance and then send 1 direct message. So for example, you've liked 10. What if you commented on 5 and you picked 1 to direct message and say, I saw your post about such and such, that was so cute, or it made me realize we hadn't talked in a while. I just want to say, hey, like just something simple.
If you write the same thing on everybody, the algorithm's also gonna pick that up and say, hey, great, I
Yes.
love it. Hey, great, I love it. Hey, great. It's gonna actually probably do the negative, because
Yes.
it'll algorithm pick up, oh, this is a bot doing this.
And this is
robot
why,
doing this.
for me, it was important to schedule the time each day because I knew it was gonna take brain work. Like you can't just say the same thing, which would be the easier way to do it. You gotta actually think about plus, these are supposed to be your friends, right? So you should wanna say something authentic to them, you wanna send a real message. Tell the participants, that's you guys, this will be covered more thoroughly in a later day of Ignite, and yet they should begin practicing this system now.
And this is from your personal profile, not your business page.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. The only time I use my business page to do any commenting is if I'm in some kind of a group. I really don't. I mean, I really do it mostly through. But again, that's where you're really connecting with people.
Right.
I'm always gonna want to connect with people in a real way. I don't want to come to them as the realtor. I want to come to them as their friend.
Right.
So I'm always going to do it from my personal page. And that's where your news feed comes from. So if you want to change your news feed, you're changing it for your personal page.
Okay, that's fair.
Is your business page a sub-page of your personal page?
Yeah, you've got to have a personal page first in order to set up a business page. Social media is a great way to market yourself freely, and you should be active on as many, if not all, popular social networks. I'm only on 2. When you post on social media, you should follow an 80-20 posting plan. 80% of your posts should not be about real estate. They should be about other interests you have. Only 1 out of every 5 original posts you create should be about real estate.
This is on your personal or on your business? I would think the business has more leeway to post about real estate.
Yes, so that would be on your personal.
Okay,
So we post every single day, sometimes twice a day on our business.
okay,
Don't ask me why, ask Maria next week.
okay,
She knows she's done all the research and she knows the why behind that.
okay, that's
But on
fine.
my personal page, sometimes I posted something this morning about real estate, but
Okay,
it was an accomplishment. So in that case, I posted that sometime, thank you. And then sometimes I will share from my business page. But mostly on my personal page, I'm trying to share personal stuff. And occasionally I will sprinkle in something about real estate. And that's why they say original posts. Because when I share from my business page, that's not an original post. That's a post from that page that I'm sharing. So when you're creating your own post, you're following that 80-20.
And just be aware that social media is constantly changing. I mean,
Yes.
it's constantly, I mean, you can't, I mean, next year, what you're saying may not be true anymore, maybe 10, maybe 2. I mean, social media is constantly,
Yeah.
you're constantly tweaking it.
And I'm never gonna care enough. Luckily Maria does. She loves it. She loves it. And so she was this morning, we were on the phone, I'm putting on my makeup, and she is telling me all about this girl that she's been researching. She's got this, she does it, she's reading all this stuff to me, and I'm like, that's so overwhelming, but she loves it, and she takes it all in and she gets it, I don't get it. But yeah, you have to follow people. You have to know where to go and get that information. And there are social media pages that you can follow if you love it and you get really into it. It's just like any other hobby, really.
It's that
Yeah.
generation. They grew up with it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's generational. I don't know.
And I think people do not respond, they read your posts about real estate, they read them, but they really respond about your post, your personal post, like, my daughter just bought a new cat, and she sent me a picture, and I was, hey, meet my new cat. And I had like 40 comments on it, so,
I'm gonna go get a dog just for.
I know, people love animals. Just go to the Humane Society, start taking pictures and say, I'm thinking about adopting this cat, what do you think?
Oh, man, you'll get it all good.
Right.
Okay, so it says, refer to the participant guide and look for the activity labeled brainstorming your social media personality. Oh my. Have the participants open their social media and look at some of their recent posts and liked posts and make a list of their interests that do not include real estate. This might include cute puppy pictures, nice dining experiences, cool latte art, unique tattoos, things that are in nature. So I think what they're trying to say is build a brand based on who you already are. And I feel like that's what I have really tried to do, as opposed to, saying, here's a successful real estate person out there. I would rather be more intentional about sharing who I already am than trying to recreate a brand that I think will sell real estate, right? Like, be who you are, share it in a positive way, and that's gonna draw the people to you that it's gonna feel good to do business with. We're not all gonna, when I did hair, that was what they always said. Like, you'll end up drawing clients to you who are just like you, who like the things you like, who are interested in the fashion that you're interested in, who do some of the same things that you do. And that's the same thing with real estate. You're ultimately going to build a sphere and a clientele that is similar to you. And that's going to feel good. You're going to be happy to wake up and do business every day. You know what I mean? So on social media, don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to build a brand that you think will sell real estate. Just build a brand that enhances who you already are. What are some posts you previously made that have received a lot of engagement? How can you recreate that in a fresh way to create more engagement? I'm explaining to you, that sharing some of the numbers they learned earlier can help the participants when it comes to the 20% of their posts that are supposed to be about real estate, and establishing a personality outside of real estate and the real estate market numbers plays a critical part in connecting with the markets on social media. Okay, so let's talk now about the other enrichments. So these are the things that are designed to help you become more of an expert. So study the Market Center report, preview homes, take an MLS course, visit and hold open houses, study the language of real estate, read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. What else? What else could you do? We talked about a lot of things that you could do. We talked about some blogs that you could follow. We talked about resources here in the office. So these are things that can get you extra points. I'm not tracking your points, just so you know.
How do you,
Only with yourself.
how do you preview homes?
So you've got your Supra access?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So when you go to the board,
Mm-hmm.
and you get signed up with the board and you pay your board fees and you sign up for Supra, and you get your lockbox.
But that's
app-
additional, isn't
access.
it?
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet because I didn't have a client, so I thought I would wait till then, but,
I would not wait till then,
okay, all right. that's
because as
fair.
soon as you have a client, you'll be scrambling.
Okay,
So you'll want to be prepared.
all right.
So, and honestly, like, waiting to join the board only goes down $30 a month. So it's not gonna necessarily be a super huge benefit. Whereas previewing homes, getting to know the market may be worth that
Okay,
that
yeah, no,
amount.
that's fair.
So previewing homes, the best thing really to do is, in the market that we're in right now, is to, if a home's been on the market for a little while and someone's living in it, they might let you get in there and check it out. I try to do more vacant houses. I don't really want to ask a seller to leave their house if I'm not really bringing a buyer in there. But you can search for vacant homes. You can do a quick search on MLS and search for those that are marked vacant. And then you can create a list and you can make yourself a little map. and
Do you
just
have
spend the
to-
day going out.
You have to contact the seller for a vacant home?
So some of them will say vacant, go show. You just go.
Okay.
Yeah, just go.
If it's vacant, but it says call or text, then I would call or text. But honestly, most of the time I will go ahead and give them a heads up that I'm going either way, because I don't want them to follow up with me and be like, what'd your client think? Oh, it's just previewing.
Yeah.
So I'll just send a text, say, hey, I'm out previewing homes today. Just want to let you know I'm gonna stop by, blah, blah, blah.
So what's the percentage of the vacant,
Just go to the MLS and you see what's.
what I'm saying, there's plenty.
There's plenty.
Really don't.
Plenty of vacant.
There's plenty.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's
There's
enough.
plenty of vacant.
You may struggle if you're looking at a certain area,
Mhm.
but if you'll broaden your search.
If you're just
there'll be
looking in
plenty.
Springfield.
Yeah, there'll be plenty, yeah.
And I would encourage you that when you're previewing homes, preview homes in all price points, preview homes in all neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Ladies, I don't wanna get into like a gender situation here, but ladies, if you're going to a neighborhood or an area that might be less safe or what's what I'm looking for? Secluded. Take a buddy, go together, okay? Don't go by yourself. And when you go into the house, lock it behind you, so no one can come in behind you. Just remember all your safety things when you're out previewing by yourself. Not that things can also happen to a man, but you know, just saying. So preview homes, there is an MLS course. There's MLS courses all the time. So if you get on Flex, there's online MLS courses all the time. The board is putting together an MLS course that's actually gonna be available for elective CE this year. So you can keep an eye out for that, because I think it's gonna be really good. And they're putting a lot of work into it. Visit.
MLS class?
The board's gonna have one this year that's gonna be available for CE. It'll be a 3-hour elective. It's not on the schedule yet. It's out for approval right now with MREC. So
What's
then
the
once it
topic?
comes back, everything.
Oh, it's gonna be a full CE.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, they've never done that. have they?
No, they just wrote it. They
It'll be
actually
for this
wrote it
year.
in-house this year.
Yeah.
That'll be this
And
year.
fair housing is the,
We actually have to do code of ethics and fair housing this year. MREC is requiring one and NAR is requiring the
so
other.
you're only gonna have one elected then. 'Cause it's only 9 hours. Each
12,
one of those would be 3, right?
12, it's 12
So you'll
hours.
have 2
Three
elected.
core and 9
Yeah, yeah,
elected.
okay.
The fair housing is mandatory.
Yes, it is mandatory.
Yeah,
Yeah, this year,
yeah. And, well, they're both mandatory this year,
yeah,
but by different organizations.
yeah.
And then visiting open houses. So obviously, the best way to get clients is to go out and to do open houses. So, you know, once you have your license, you have to have your license before you do an open house. But you can, even though you may not have a house listed, you can go to any agent in this office. You can post into the internal Facebook group and say, I want to do an open house. And somebody will say, I've got this one available this weekend. What day and time do you want to do it? And then you go find somebody else and you say, I signed up for an open house. What do I do? And then somebody will tell you all the things to do to get ready for it. And that's going to give you the opportunity to preview a house, to practice talking to people, to potentially even get a client. But if, before you do that, if you're not like, you know, some people are like, I'm ready, I'm going. Go to open houses, go to other people's open houses. So you can also search on the MLS by open house, and you could spend a Sunday afternoon going to 5 open houses. What you want to do is you want to disclose that you're an agent when you walk in, so that, one, you don't want to waste their time. But also you don't want them to find out you were an agent later and think you were being sneaky, like, I'm gonna go find out what's going on in there. So just immediately walk in, say, hey, I'm an agent with Keller Williams and I'm just previewing houses, and they'll let you kind of meander and they'll do their thing. But that way too, you can kind of listen in on how they're doing things. If it's another Keller Williams agent, they're gonna be super open and just say, hey, I'm previewing houses and I want to see how different agents are doing their open houses. They're gonna be more than, if there's no one there, they'll probably talk your ear off, so. Language of real estate, that is a Keller Williams course. You can find that on KW Connect. I have never taken it, but I think I'm gonna write it down. There's also language of sales, which is another one I'd like to do.
That's easy.
And then everybody, when you sign on, I think it's a copy of Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Is that still the case? Is everybody getting a copy of that book? I thought everybody got one. If not, they're available upstairs and they'll just charge it to your agent billing. I think it's like $10. So that's kind of the first main book Gary Keller wrote to tell you.
Free, got mine free. I bet if you ask nice, they might give you.
I already bought it.
Oh, did you?
Will they give me a different one? They didn't give me a different one.
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
He said he got one. He just onboarded.
They
I
gave
didn't
two-
get one.
They just gave it to me.
Maybe she asked me if I had one, if I said I already did, and then she's like,
well,
oh, okay,
late.
that's just wrong. I'm just making a big deal out of nothing.
I'll ask Shannon, I'm not sure. So that's kind of the first book to read. And then after that, I would encourage you to read Shift. Do the right thing, or do the right thing, do the one thing. Oh my gosh, I'm Wesley Snipes now. The one thing. And then after that, you might read Hold. And what's the other one? There's 2 investment ones. Oh, and then there's a great, like if you have young people in your lives, a great gift idea is buy your first house. So there's books up there called Buy Your First House that were written by Gary Keller, and it's really good. My son read it. He's 18 and he loved it. And then what else? What else could you do? Ideas? What else could you do to enrich this Ignite experience, to learn more about how to be a realtor and be the expert in your field?
So what about joining a team as well? We know you and I have talked about that. So that's another way of learning kind of the ropes and the foundation of real estate.
Absolutely, absolutely. And if you join a team, then they're gonna have some market knowledge. They're gonna have regular team meetings where they're sharing that sort of thing. So if anybody's interested in joining a team, I would encourage you to go talk to Rachel. She is typically monitoring which teams are looking. And she'll know what they're looking for, and she'll know the personality types that are gonna maybe fit best within that team. Everybody will do the KPA and go through the KPA interview process to make sure it's a good fit anyway, but and then you can let her know what you're looking for, like, this is what I'm looking to get out of real estate. This is the amount of time that I have to invest, and this is when I could, be working. And then she'll help to pair you kind of with the right couple of teams that you could interview with. Yeah, so that's Rachel.
Teams are
Okay.
great if you're starting, you wanna learn. You learn a lot. But teams is like a job, you have rules of the team, you have to be here 8 to 5 or whatever, and do certain open houses and sell so many houses a month, and so. But like I say, it's a really good learning experience. Mhm.
Yeah. Jen, I know somebody, I'll tell you about.
Right.
And that's true. So for me, hello?
Yes, Kai, can you hear me?
Hi, Brad.
Hey, something else you could do to get really good at real estate is just get out there and do it.
Right.
Get out there and do it.
I just wanted to tap in and say hi to everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I've been out showing houses. Looks like you guys are having fun.
I
But I
can
just
see
wanted
that
to
you've
say
been
hi.
out in the cold because you've got your hat on.
Yeah, I've been out there. Been a good day, but good day. I'll probably write another contract later on, either this afternoon or tomorrow. So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I have a
We
team.
can't wait to celebrate that win.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you guys take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, so that's a good point that Liliana made. So I interviewed with several teams, and ultimately I didn't want anyone telling me where to be or what to do or how to do it. That's just my nature. So a team didn't end up being right for me, but teams can also, I was on a team actually for 2.5 years. I was on a husband-wife team. I was their admin / showing assistant / buyer's agent. And I learned a lot. I learned a lot doing that. When I left them and I considered looking for another team, that was when I realized I didn't really want someone telling me again what to do. Now, I had the best situation with them. They didn't tell me what to do, so that was awesome. So, there are different teams that operate in different ways. And so make sure, like, that's why I say, go to Rachel and talk to her and see what some of the different options are that are out there. So if you're interested in a team, you may be able to find the one that suits what you're looking for, the type of business that you want to have. Ahas. What you got, Mary?
Headlights steering.
She looked at me like she had something she wanted to say.
I'm just thankful for all the information. This is great. And I'm kind of writing stuff out like further into my calendar here, so that way I'll remember.
So you don't
to-
forget,
Yes.
yes.
We should study together for the national.
That would be good.
That might be helpful.
That would, yes.
You can flashcard each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flashcards are good.
That would be great.
Question.
Yes.
The social media engagement thing, we're doing that from our personal profile, and we're not really necessarily talking real estate.
Let's do it again.
We're not really necessarily talking about real estate when we're doing the social media engagement, or 5-2-1 or whatever, 10-5-1.
So with the 80%.
When we're posting. And that's, the 10-5-1 is
The
helping people
10-5-1
see our stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
That's your engagement that
Okay.
gets you in front of people. It changes your algorithm. So your algorithm works in 2 ways. It changes what you see and it changes who sees you. So the more
Okay.
you engage, the more people see you. And so then when you do post about real estate, ideally they're gonna see it.
Okay, I'm with you. That's good. That's what I needed. Thank you.
So learn about and communicate current market inventory. What do you think your call to action is for today? Okay, we're gonna review these bullet points. So this is kind of what we just gone over. Knowing your market is know the type of market that you're in, know about the inventory in your area, know the interest rates and know some lenders, know what economic factors are playing in and whatever other market factors might be contributing at the time. And then when you build your expertise, you're learning about the market, learning about your clientele, listening to individuals and keeping the headlines in context. Does anyone have any questions about some of the things that we covered today? What do you think your call to action is for today? And then it answers it for you and says, learn about and communicate current market inventory. What, does anybody have any questions so far? Oh, look, we're done. Oh my God, I'm
Right
on
on
time
time.
today.
Right on time. Very impressive.
201.
Very impressive.
Very
Talked a
proficient.
lot. Okay, awesome. Oh, wait, I still have to say, each day in Ignite, you grow in how you think, feel, act, and implement what you've learned. From learning and ahas, you move toward achievement towards your big life. And that's what we're here for, right? To achieve our big goals. Write in your participant guide how you have grown in each of the areas. Spend 5 minutes on that before we do our success systems. How have you grown in the last 3 days? And then taking the time to reflect on what you've learned is important in building your confidence and celebrating your growth. We'll do this activity after each learning session so you can track your learning journey. And now we move into our important success system time where we work in our business together while supporting each other. So Jen, I went over this with them yesterday, but our success system time is built up of these areas. So having 10 conversations, adding 10 contacts to our database, and I'll tell you how this applies to you, how you can do it differently. 10 handwritten notes and 10-5-1 social media engagement and some of these enrichment activities. So for you, you could have 10 conversations and just reach out. You know, we talked with Mary, like Mary, tell her again what you did said in your text.
So I'm just gonna read it because it's about challenging. Let's see, I've been challenged. I'm getting into real estate and I've been challenged to get 10 emails for my future newsletters. Would you mind to help me out? Thank you.
So you could do something like that, and that could be your conversations. And then, so a conversation is a two-way conversation. So if you send out 10 and you only get 5 back, you've only had 5 conversations. But again, we're not competing with each other, we're competing only with ourselves.
So you
And-
you send those out through text?
Yeah, you can send it by text, you can send it by Facebook Messenger.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Can I
can
borrow
send
that?
email.
Can I get that from you?
Okay. And then as far as adding, you can't add contacts to your database yet, but you could start gathering the information. So you, every day you could say, okay, I'm gonna get the phone number, email, and address of 10 people, even though we can't put it in the database yet.
Right.
You really are supposed to just have, you only have to have 2 pieces of information to consider it a contact. So it could be their address, their email, or their phone number, 2 of those 3 things. And then handwritten notes. So you may, you know, you could either write a handwritten note that said, I'm getting ready to get into real estate. Just wanted to just wanted to drop a note. You crossed my mind. You know, it could be any kind of thing like that. It could be, you know, I was just thinking about you. And it's just designed to kind of get you in their mind again. Or it could be, hey, I just got into real estate and I just wanted to let you know if you ever know anybody who's looking to buy or sell, would you please think of me?
Put it on Facebook?
No, they're do all the different things. You're going to be on Facebook too. You're gonna like, wait,
Yeah,
what is it? You're
do
gonna
the
like
10-5-1.
10, yeah, you're gonna do the 10-5-1. And then for your enrichments, you don't have access to the MLS yet, and you don't have access to, you can't preview homes yet, but you could read The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. You could stop by some open houses and see how people are doing things. That'd be kind of the 2 main things. And then, of course, you could study for your test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do that in the next 2 weeks.
That's your enrichment. So, but that's what we do for the last 2 hours of this class, is we actually use it as our lead generation time to focus on these activities. And there's cards here if you want some.
You said we could go ahead and start kind of meeting with lenders as well, just to see what they want. Like, if I'm not an agent, I can be like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm
So
brand new, I need to know like how
So
this
the
works
fir-
or.
Like where you can find some lenders, if you don't know any yet, is when you come to coaching on Wednesdays, Sarah, she's always gonna be up for having coffee with someone. And then on Tuesdays at team meeting, I think we have 3 at least lenders from different companies that are part of our vendor program who come, so you could connect with them and see.
So
about
even
going to
though we
coffee.
haven't signed on with Keller Williams yet, can we still come to the meeting on Tuesday?
Oh, yeah,
At 10 a.m., it's at 10 a.m.?
it's at 9:27.
9:27.
I know, it's very specific. It's at
And
9:27.
it's called, what is that meeting?
That's our
again?
team meeting.
Team meeting.
Yeah,
So it's just a
every
recap of
Tuesday.
the week or
Do what?
it's just a recap of like the week?
Yeah, it's kind of like, they'll do the market stats, but they'll also tell us everything that's coming up. Sometimes they'll bring in outside people to educate and train, you know, they'll have like somebody comes in for 30 minutes from another market center or from Keller Williams Global.
And so there's always lenders there, you said.
Yeah, there's always lenders that are here. Mhm.
That's good. I didn't cut you off, did I, Mary? I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good. So rentals, would those be something good to go kind of talk and look and like, hey, are you happy you're renting this? Or would, you know, like, is that kind of, or like keeping in mind, like kind of building our rapport? with
Yeah,
renters?
I mean, if you, there's a couple things you could, like, if you have people in your sphere that are still renting, you know, you could definitely connect with them and educate them about, I would talk to lenders first and say, hey, I'm thinking about trying to get in front of some people who are still renting, first-time home buyers. What would be the best way to do that? What information can I share with them?
Okay.
So you could talk one-to-one with Sphere who are still renters. You could also host a first-time homebuyer seminar. There's actually a playbook for it that Keller Williams has written, so you don't have to write your own. And then you bring in vendors, you bring in a lender, an insurance person, et cetera. And then you could also target. So like Richard started talking about farming a neighborhood, you could farm certain, apartment complexes. You want to make sure that there's no soliciting.
Yeah, you need to make sure it's okay with them
Mhm.
to go and knock doors and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, now you
But
could,
houses, yes, you can, but
But like HOAs you're talking about, is that?
no, like if you went to an
No.
apartment complex,
Uh-huh.
you'd want to make sure there wasn't like something posted about not soliciting. You'd want to make sure that it's okay for you to be there knocking on the doors of a complex, but you can also target them through mailers. That's what, I remember Cassie that was sitting at the back of the room the other day. She and a lender went in together on some postcards that went out to apartment complexes.
What about reaching out to owners of rental property? Like, they have a sign up, hey, I'm, you know, like.
they're
Just
gonna
following
say,
up.
no, I want my renters, you can't have them. That's what I would say.
Oh, like if you want
Like,
to,
are they happy? Like, I mean, because renting to people can be like a hassle, like just kind of letting them know, like, if they want to buy it, sell in the future or something, like,
yes.
just kind of building that rapport, so we have that relationship, and if they do get tired of it,
Yeah,
want to
that's
sell,
what I
they're
do.
gonna contact me.
You just need to find investors. That's the word,
Okay.
because those are the ones. And there is a class that I'm
So I
finishing
held up.
as soon as I finish this. It's called Dominate the Market. I have it here. It's all about dominate of market listings. Costs about $900, but it's a 12-week.
Let me give it Linda.
It was really, really good. And they'll teach you how to appoint,
2 to 4.
where to find all these addresses, and it's really good.
I'll
Okay.
get with Kevin.
Liliana, was that through KW or through?
W, Christina Ferreira is the one who teaches us. She's amazing.
So what's it called again?
Dominate of market listings.
Off-market listing?
Yeah, she goes above and beyond to teach you.
Well, basically it is like you.
She has kids, dogs. She's a coach. I don't know how she does it all.
give you,
And then one last thing you said about,
Oh,
okay,
Jen.
so
and,
look at houses that are for sale and kind of watch what they're selling for and, or what are things to
Yeah, so
look
we know
for?
we talked about previewing houses, so you could preview houses and you could be looking at, like, if you decided to preview 5
You
houses
just want the, you just
in
want
5
the.
different price points or 5 different neighborhoods, and then watch those, like, keep going back to the MLS. Okay, is this house still on the market? It's still on the market. How many days has it been on the market? Have they done a price reduction? You know, if it's a Keller Williams agent, you could reach out and say, hey, I've been previewing houses. I'm trying to learn more about our market. I know she got this house that's been sitting a little while. What feedback have you gotten on it? Say, you know, be upfront and say, hey, I'm not working with a buyer. I'm not trying to get like inside information. Say, I just am really trying to learn.
Okay,
Jen, another thing you can do, and anybody can do this, is coffee dates and lunches. So, you know, if you feel weird being like, I just got into real estate, you know, if that feels awkward, then you might say, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Would you like to get together for coffee? Coffee is cheaper than lunch. You will end up very caffeinated. Start drinking decaf. Yeah, but not broke. But it's a good, you know, coffee dates are a really good way to get in front of people, to naturally share that you're in real estate, because you're gonna spend at least 30 to 45 minutes sitting with that person and have to come up with things to talk about.
Yeah.
So you're gonna naturally share what you're doing, and it's gonna be a better opportunity to ask them more questions. I mean, a phone call, we can get a little bit out, but typically when we call someone, we've caught them. And we don't have as much of their time and attention as when we do have a coffee date and we've both set aside that time to be together. Then we can be more intentional in our conversation and get, you know, get more, I want to say dug out, exposed. We can expose more.
I have
that way.
a coffee date with a friend tomorrow before class.
Perfect.
Yeah, she knows I'm I'm getting into it, so.
That acronym FORWARD works real well too.
Yes. So forward, when you are having conversations with people, whether it's in person or on the phone, or you can even, I mean, you can do it by text too. I mean, it's family, occupation, recreation, dreams.
And remember that all those copies are
Dreams sound
tax deductible.
Yeah.
You know, like, what are you guys trying to accomplish this year? You know,
For the
what do
guys,
you got going
it's,
on? What's your big thing
That's
you
a
want to
good-
check off your
For the
list?
guys,
That's
it's
a good
sports.
for the guys, it's Fords,
Sports.
yes, for sports.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That probably is actually at the beginning, but
It might be, it might be.
Sports.
Sports.
And this is a good investment, guys. Oh, I have some here.
That's fun.
Gift cards in your pockets, Andy's or coffee shops. And if, you know, you see a client has a little kid, say, hey, $10 Andy card.
nice.
GSBR.
It's a nice
Those
touch.
little things
Yeah,
are tax
doesn't
deductible
love
too.
I have done, I'll look at people's birthdays on Facebook and
Mhm.
send a gift card. You know, just a little, hey, saw it was your birthday, you know, go enjoy a sweet
Well, your
treat.
key is electronic.
You can do, I mean, you can do that for, I mean, it used to be the $5 gift card would be sufficient.
Yeah, remember those days?
Still is,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of times I'll
not in
still
Andy's,
send,
but
I'll still send the $5 one, because you can still get, you know, a tall, or they can get, and that's why I always say sweet treat, because not everybody wants a
This
coffee.
is strictly
Right.
for your,
We'll use
key
it.
app.
But there's lots of ways to reach out to people, but also just still like be who you are and do nice things for people and not feel awkward and weird.
Preview.
Yeah. Well, that's a natural state
So
for
they
me.
can watch your.
It can be awkward and
So.
weird. So I'm used to that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a whole lot better than trying to get combination. Codes from everybody, which is what we used to do, right? Because everybody had a combo lock.
We're doing our activities. We're doing our lead generation. we're doing these things.
Is there another class in here later? Or do we have plenty of time?
Oh, we have plenty of time.
Okay.
Yesterday, the other class never showed up anyway.
Oh,
Yeah, they
really?
never showed, yeah, they, oh. Never mind, I'm gonna say anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, right.
Amy, I want to do my postcards from home. That's okay. I'm gonna go get my little guy from school. But I will do my postcards and have them. I'm not gonna come tomorrow, but I'll be back Monday.
Okay.
So thank you so much
You're
for your
welcome.
time.
Do you wanna take, and I know you're not supposed to, but if you're not coming back tomorrow, do you wanna take an extra 10 for tomorrow?
A what?
Extra
Oh,
10.
yes. That would be good.
Can I get that text from you, Mary?
Yes,
Do you have time
ma'am.
to do that?
Yes.
Or I can just give you my cell phone number, or what do you?
It's not gonna get easy. What's your phone number?
417-379-9644. 379-9644.
Okay. There we go. All right, I'll send that over to you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Mine keeps doing that. Got everything turned to silent.
Well, I'm just gonna sit up here and do my lead gen too, but if you guys need stuff. And Richard, if you wanna work on your stuff for a little bit, and then before we get out of here, I can also show you some things about how to get addresses and stuff.
And then so tomorrow to watch this online. Where do I go? Where do I do there?
Let me double check. I think the
It's the same
emails,
Zoom.
I don't
that you
think
did.
she's been on a Zoom before. It's the same Zoom for everything. So
Okay.
for team meeting, for anything that we have that's gonna be Zoomed, it's the same Zoom, and it's the same login. But I think she sent,
I have it here if you need it.
yeah, that'd be great.
And what's your phone number? I'll text it to you. 1 second. Which my phone?
Okay, so here's the link to the YouTube page, but she does not have.
What is your last name, Ann?
Me? She does not have the,
K-A. R-A.
So I need to check with Shannon maybe.
well, Liliana said she
Oh,
had
she
it.
has it,
She can
okay.
share it with you. But
Okay.
you can always, anything that we have, that's how you can access it.
What's your phone
There's a-
number?
Yeah,
417.
yeah, it's the same link every time. and it's the same
569.
password.
And we'll do live.
5032.
Yes,
Yes.
I mean, we'll be live all the way till 4, but yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
I'm gonna send you a text that Rachel sent me last time. She sent it to me because she sent it 40 times.
Oh, cool, thank you. Oh, and I said we have plenty of time, but I do have to leave at 3:40 actually.
If you don't know, you.
Well, I
Forgot how to work
just-
out.
what-
No,
You don't
I
have
need to go
one.
meet
It
my
says
daughter, so
apply,
that helps.
apply coupon.
You needed to, Mary?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna start doing a couple days. Focus on my studies.
It's got my curiosity there.
I just sent it, copy and paste it to you. Okay, there you go. And
Much.
Bye.
you guys, anything, if you have any questions or something, call me. I'm also doing an open house not this Sunday, but next. So new bill that I have that. Welcome, I'll give you, if you guys interested, I'll give you the address, but welcome to come. Yeah, the more the merrier.
That would be good.
I'll make you bake cookies, so.
That made a great point, Liliana. There's gonna be people in here who do open houses, and so like around Thursday, Friday, each week, we should
Mhm.
check in with each other and visit each other's open houses.
Yeah.
Did you just send me this? The
It'll
team
help
meeting
the
announcement?
agent
the
too,
same-
because it'll
it's the
make the
same.
house seem really
Are you
busy.
2125?
And then it'll be like, oh, a
Yeah.
buzz, yeah.
Yeah, that's the same, always team meeting, any Zoom that is live, that's what you need.
Oh, right,
Mhm.
right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Did it go with the password also, Ann?
Yes.
Okay,
What's your last name, Liliana?
Owen,
Oh, that's easy. Is it two L's or one L in the middle?
Lili,
There you go.
A. Uh-huh.
What?
Amy, what were you gonna tell me about, something you were gonna tell me about somebody on a team or?
Oh.
I just looked her up because I never follow her, but what's this about?
Oh, they have a stalker.
Oh my,
It's
that's awful.
It is off, it's real too. They had to literally get restraining orders. It's nuts. It's somebody that knew childhood. Doing it. Yeah, she's definitely got some pretty strong mental illness going on. And some narcissistic tendencies, but she like has been calling Stephanie's work and everything. And like faxing things,
Oh,
and
yes.
emailing things. She says that's what happened. Yeah.
They dated. They just grew up.
From what I understand, they grew up together and then she dated his brother before he passed away. Then after he passed away, she was living out of state, and when she decided to move back here, she contacted us that was supposed to be with your brother. Now it died, and I'm so it's not even allowed to do that. He was like, a long-term girlfriend. Interesting. It's actually been going on for several years.
Smiled.
And
Out
it
of all
just,
people.
it died down and then they went to her work. And she saw that she was working at Casper's.
Depends on the day.
I will say that Stephanie's
I
done a
must
few
say
things that she
mild.
shouldn't have done. And I'm like, Stephanie, was egging it on, you know?
Mild.
Well, that's no good.
No, I'm like,
Nobody wants to.
I said, whatever you do, this person can never know that I exist. Like, don't post on my page. Don't tag me and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while.
I don't want her to contact me and I don't
Like
want.
our age?
Her brother was actually in Ryan's class at Greenwood, and then she was.
She went to Greenwood?
She did, but she didn't stay with me, ended up at Montpelier. She was at Montpelier
Moderate.
with me and Stephanie and Eric. And I guess that's what actually, he's going to live with her family for a little bit, and that's why he was over.
None.
It's crazy. Well, she's like.
Actually, that's gone to none. Isn't that crazy?
And the dog, and just totally
This
serious.
is like, rabbit.
I was gonna just
kind
say, it's like fatal attraction.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Yeah.
That's still kind of moderate.
I feel like I'm getting an earache.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say moderate.
This is, no, this is who's looking for someone to join their team. Okay.
Awesome, thank you.
So she would be, this is one that I feel like would give you some flexibility. Yeah, friender. Yeah, say I'm friends with Amy.
Oh, message her. I've asked.
But they're looking for someone who is direct, results oriented, decisive, competitive, problem solver. And don't forget the essential touch of influence, charm, enthusiasm, optimism, inspiration, and well, I didn't do it. Oh, there's also her first.
Okay.
And say, you know, and I just want to maybe we have a conversation first and make sure it's a good fit.
Elise is her name.
Alicia Riley. There you go, there's one of your conversations.
I'm gonna stop going up my envelope, so I need.
Oh, yeah, just grab one. One thing that you'll notice over time on your social media, it'll end up being all realtors. And then you will be forced to actively go to other people's pages to change your algorithm, because that's what it'll pop up for you. Like I'm scrolling mine right now, and so far I've been about 6 realtors in a row.
Hey, I won't be here tomorrow and I already did my part. Can I take one of those so I can
Yeah.
do those tomorrow?
You betcha.
Thank you. I'll be online, so. Bye, guys. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you, Amy.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for offering up the visit to your open house.
Yeah, sure, anytime.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Okay. Ken, do you have any other questions or concerns? Do you want to broaden the tool, narrow the tool, whatever?
So if we like 10 and also comment on those 10, is that too many comments? Will that mess things up? Will that mess up the algorithm?
I don't know anything about it.
I would say you almost
So there
can't,
can't be too much?
I would say that Mark, Mark Zuckerberg, he's probably as much engagement and authentic. I think the algorithm probably tell authentic engagement from bots
Yeah,
if they really wanted
because
to.
of the
The
repetition.
repetition.
Don't be repetitive. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, if you're authentic, engaging and sharing things, and I think probably a variety of posting, if you do a video every once in a while, helps to do a video and then a picture and then you know.
can it be a forward video or does it have to be
No,
authored by
I think
you?
probably,
Okay.
well, probably your own video is better than anything.
Okay,
But having a variety of different types of posts, putting a poll out there, using all those things. It likes it more and more.
okay. There you go.
Oh my gosh, my feed is literally all realtors. Big friends list, here I come.
Don't they have to be your friends?
But so if you like
To be on your
it,
feed?
they are. Well, that's what happens is that all realtors will friend you.
I know, but I don't usually.
You don't accept them. Some people don't, some people don't. Some people have a strict rule.
Because I'm confused about that. What is best for me?
Mhm.
And I haven't used social media much, so that was one of the things I wanted to get out of this class. So that was, all of these things have been very important. And that's the next thing. How would you answer that question about?
So for me, I think it's just as important to network with other agents and to develop those relationships, especially when we are in markets where there's gonna be competition. So if I'm, one of 5 buyer's agents that submits an offer, if I've networked and developed a good relationship with that agent, I might have a little bit of an in.
So you feel like social media does that?
Like I do things face to face too, like I'll do stuff at the board or I'll, do stuff that we have here. I'll try to network with other agents and,
Right.
but then on social media, I'll comment on their stuff and I'll, develop the relationships on there too.
Okay.
But if I'm doing this 10-5-1, then I'm gonna be more intentional about trying to get people who could potentially be clients.
Right,
Mhm.
yeah.
If I'm just scrolling for the sake of scrolling, then I'll, comment on other agents' stuff.
And you don't feel like as they post things that that's going to hurt your business? Or
Well,
get someone's
yes, you're-
attention that's within your sphere, but all of a sudden,
That's only gonna happen if you're already mutual friends. So like if Jen and I are friends, and then you post something, let's see, we're friends on Facebook, you're friends on Facebook. You post something and I comment on it. It might pop up and say, Amy commented on Jeff's post, and it'll show that to Jennifer. But if you're not friends, she's never gonna see that. You'd have to either tag me or I'd have to comment on it. it's not just gonna automatically show, like if I'm friends with, we'll use Mike Brown, because I've said his name 10 times already today. So if I'm friends with Mike Brown and he posts something, that doesn't mean my friends on Facebook are gonna see what he posted. So it doesn't really matter if I'm friends with them or not, unless they're already friends with them. And if they're already friends with them, they're already friends with them. So they're already seeing the stuff anyway. You know
Okay,
what I mean? The only thing that it can do is clog up your feed.
yeah. And then how do you
That's-
clean it?
Do what?
How do you clean it?
Unfriend people.
Oh,
Oh, how do I change my algorithm? So that I
Well,
see different feed?
you said.
I have to go to their pages. So that's what I'm doing right now. So now I'm coming over here to my friend.
To try to get more than just.
So it's not
realtors.
enough to just like it in your feed, you actually go to their page and like it. Is that what you're saying?
No, you can, if a non-realtor friend is in your feed, if you want your feed to be different is when you need to go to their page.
Oh, okay.
If you like that they're
Like they
already-
didn't show up on your page, so you actually have to go.
But my feed, unfortunately, right now is literally all realtors.
Got you.
Now, when I was scheduling time to do this.
That wasn't happening to you because you were commenting on other people besides realtors.
Right.
So the
I was taking the time to
Yeah.
be intentional about it. I was scheduling it every day and I noticed that my feed did change.
Yeah.
When I went and actively like commented and liked people's stuff, they showed up.
Okay.
And you could do that, you know, if you wanted like a specific group to end up on your feed all the time, you could do that. You could also, you used to be able to create specific feeds, and I don't know that you can still do that. But like for me, I'm just gonna go to my friends and I'm gonna go to all friends. And then I'm gonna just pick people's pages to go to. Now, if the last post that they posted was like a while ago, it can be a little weird.
Yeah.
You know, if they haven't posted in 3 weeks and
I
you,
don't touch it.
yeah, you like or comment, that might be weird. Because then they know you had to go to their page to see it and it just pop up.
Yeah, it's like a 5-day, maybe a 5-day period.
Say that again, I wasn't
Real
listening.
creepy.
What happened?
Like if you actively go to someone's page
Right.
and the last post that they posted was more than 5 days ago, don't like or comment on it. It's gonna look weird.
You'll look
Okay.
a creep.
Yeah, like
Oh, really?
like you've been trolling their page. They'll be like,
Why
yeah,
would it, if it's over 5 days?
that's
Well,
just a,
that's
it's a
just a-
social, it's not like a hard and fast rule. It's a social norm. It's, you know,
Norm.
Like it's still going in the news
What's
feed.
trolling a page?
But if it was like
What's trolling?
3 weeks ago.
like if I go to somebody's page and I go down a
Okay.
rabbit trail of looking at every one of their posts, that's.
Oh, so when
Oh.
you comment and it's within a day or two, they don't know you went to their page? They think it was done on the feed?
Right.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yes, but if it was like 3 weeks ago and you're commenting and liking, they'll know that you'd gone specifically to their page.
Yeah. Now, if it's like a close friend,
Yeah.
I mean,
A
I,
lot of info now.
you know, I don't care to like go to a close friend and
yeah.
be like, I went down a rabbit trail on your feed today. I would say that to somebody that I was
Yeah,
supposed to.
yeah, yeah.
So that's
But if it-
socially not acceptable. in
Yes,
the-
yeah, to like, yeah, because you're like a
I
stalker.
understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a
On
stalker.
Facebook, there's be a stalker on
You know who was
Facebook.
doing that the other day? Because he messaged me, it was Gardner.
Oh, don't go down that.
So must be a lot of Facebook etiquette.
But he commented on through my messenger.
Oh.
I didn't touch it.
Yeah.
I didn't even.
So, yeah, and so then sometimes, so like when you're trying to hit 10 people, you might have to go through 20 to find those 10. If you know, they haven't posted anything in a while.
Be careful, Jeff.
Gotta learn all the etiquette,
Yeah.
all the protocols. Or somebody will think you're a creep.
We gotta- Never mind.
So what will I be writing in my cards? And then how do I get their address?
He is creepy.
So
There's
there's,
like the best way to do that.
so there's a website, okay, so if they own their home and you know what county they're in, we can look them up on the county assessor site.
That's easy.
That's public tax record. If they don't own their home or you're not sure, you could do like fast people search.
Okay.
If you have a general idea of where they live, you know, like, it's usually pretty, I mean, they're usually pretty accurate.
So these are friends.
Yeah.
Is there a charge for that?
What? Fast people search?
site?
No, it's free, but then there are things you could pay for if you wanted more information.
Wow.
Mhm. But I mean, I'm just looking for a free address. Yep, yeah,
It's about the
just,
same thing I would say in a text, like in that text, right?
yeah.
That I'm.
Well, in the text, you're asking for, you've been, it's a
Okay.
challenge and you're getting emails. And in your card, you might just say, let's ask Chat to write it for us. Hold on. Oh, that's on my computer. It's my-
Okay.
Okay,
Who are you asking?
Chat GPT.
Oh, okay. I haven't used him yet.
Are you gonna teach us about that too?
I can. I mean, it's gonna be one of these like things that we need to do during this time, but everyone's welcome to come up here and watch me do it right now. So I use chat.openai.com. That's the one I use. This is Chat GPT 3.5. And you have to create a login and password. There's things I haven't used yet, like you can have it like write and read things to you, like you can have it role play with you, you can have it script practice with you.
Huh.
But I'm gonna
GPI.
just put in here, see down at the bottom, it says message Chat GPT, and I'm gonna say, write me a short handwritten card message letting a friend know I am in real estate.
Can you be here tomorrow, Amy? Yeah. So how about you and I take a picture with KW in the background? And I'll share it, saying that I'm going into training and getting into real estate.
I love it.
So where's something?
Where
But you're always cute, but
red, black and white. PW, red, black.
black is my favorite.
So here's what it wrote to me. I hope this note finds you well. I wanted to share some exciting news with you. I've embarked on a journey in real estate. It's a field I'm truly passionate about, and I can't wait to help people find their dream homes. If you or anyone you know is looking to buy or sell a property, I'd be honored to assist. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to share this new chapter with you. Wishing you all the best.
I like that, black.
That's great.
It is good.
Now, when you have it write something, then you can say like, if you want it to be shorter, you can say, make it shorter. You could say, make it less sappy. You can literally like tell it like, let's see, make it shorter and less cheesy. I don't know how to spell cheesy. Oh,
I
that's
mean,
not right.
it means the world to me. Is that
Okay, chat.
Your support,
is that a little sappy?
Means the world to me. Yeah, he'll probably take that out.
Oh, TP.
He'll probably take that out. Mhm.
Login, you have to make a login for that?
So I said, make it shorter and less cheesy, and it says,
Oh, it's an app.
hey, so-and-so, just wanted to give you a quick note. I've jumped into the real estate game. If you or anyone you know needs help buying or selling, I'm your person. Let's catch up soon. I mean, that's
I like
super
that
cute.
too.
That's cool too.
Okay, so this is the app, you can get it on your app on your phone, right? The
Yeah.
chat GPT.
Yes, I have not yet put it on my phone. Maria uses it on her phone.
So clever.
So it's an app? Okay.
Well, I mean, I guess, is it an app? Mine, I'm doing, going to the
You can't-
website.
They have an app, yeah. It's an app. I don't use the app.
To use it?
I don't use the app. I just use it on the,
So you'll just
Desktop.
Google chat GPT on
Yeah.
your laptop?
yep.
And then you can put
sign
in whatever you,
So this is you interacting with AI
Right.
and it's gonna talk back and forth to you. And AI, like, in my opinion, other people's, it's gonna change our world as much as the internet did. So in 10 years, it will be, we're gonna look back at Google searches and laugh. You mean, we used to look up stuff and had 2 million results and 900, 1,999,000 of them were garbage? I mean, Chat GPT, once it gets to know you, like intuitively, it already knows, it's like talking to a friend. I mean, there's people that talk to Chat GPT all day, like a friend. And,
and it responds? Like-
oh yeah, and it gets to know you, and it's like, well, how was your, it'll ask you, well, how did that appointment, if you interacted with it like it would ask you, like, how did your appointment go yesterday? It's, oh, well, it was kind of hard.
I guess you use it as
Well,
an accountability partner.
you could use it as anything.
So you have to open up an account and sign in.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is, you
Yeah,
remember when you first saw the internet?
yeah.
It was like
Oh, yeah.
basic,
Oh,
but that's
yeah.
where AI is right now. In 5 or 10 years,
So we're in history right now. I mean, this is history.
yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot of people are gonna,
Oh,
there are a
yeah.
lot of jobs are gonna be taken over. Like, we know someone that's in copywriting, like in proofreading,
Yeah.
and they have 5 people. In the next couple of years, it's gonna be down to 1.
So do you think it will create jobs as
And then it'll
well
create
as?
jobs, yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like the
Uh-huh.
internet, how many
Yeah.
jobs were lost because of the
Yeah.
internet?
But how many were created?
Right, I mean, we
Yeah,
used to have bank tellers,
yeah,
counting money and doing, I mean, all that's changed, and so,
yeah,
but it'll create, opportunities as well.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's gonna be
but
interesting.
it's like in education, so now in education, when AI first came out, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, they were like, don't use it, you're not allowed to use it
Yeah,
for,
plagiarism.
but now, my son's in college and they're saying, they've changed the tune this semester, they've changed the whole tune. Use it to give you ideas, use it to edit your stuff. It needs to be your original ideas, but use ChatGPT or AI as much as you can. Without it doing the work for you.
How will I know the difference?
Well, that's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing.
You can say, write me a 6-page paper on any subject
Yeah,
and do it like a 10th grader or add a certain number of mistakes, spelling mistakes, blah, blah, blah. And it'll put those mistakes in there. And you know what I mean?
yeah.
Because if you're a professor.
Do it at a 10th grade level.
You see a
do it at a
perfect,
12th grade.
absolute perfect paper written like.
Yeah, yeah.
You're gonna be like, okay, this is clearly not this.
Good. Mary and I are gonna come to the meeting on Tuesday, team meeting, and then after that, we're gonna stay and study and then be here for you Ignite.
That's crazy.
That is a great plan.
Yeah,
So-
grab something to
So then
eat.
there's,
Mary is great.
the professors have reverse checkers.
Does she live around
Well,
here?
they can now put it
Oh,
put it
okay.
into a Chat GP, like an AI checker. But there's so many ways.
So many what?
There's so many ways around it. You can go in and mess around with it a bit. Just add little things there and there. And then,
And then it's gone.
yeah. Yeah. It's here with us. You can't fight it. Just like, I'm sure there are people trying to fight the internet 20 years ago.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, we're gonna use paper and pen, like we used to,
I still feel that way.
and they lost,
Yeah.
So you just have to embrace it.
Huh. That's wild. That's wild.
Oh, well, the app's not free.
The app's not free.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
So what can we do online?
How much is it?
$7.99
How
a
much?
week. $8 a week or $150 for a year.
For what?
I have access to the app, but
Chat GPT.
yeah. Once I read it.
Brad knows a lot about that when he gets back in class. He would be a good one to ask.
Well, if you just Google it, you have access, right? So just-
Yeah,
I just mean his-
I don't,
yeah.
it's free. The desktop.
What'd you say?
It's just free for, I mean. I've
Yeah,
never
when you
paid-
Google it.
I've never paid anything for it.
Right.
Unless you go through the app, then the app costs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
When they say social media, it doesn't all have to be on Facebook, right? So I could like a few posts on Instagram and a
Oh,
few
yeah.
posts on Facebook that add up to 10. Right?
I don't know.
It just says social media. It doesn't say Facebook engagement.
No, I don't know how that, like, if that has any effect on the algorithm. Like your engagement, like if it's gonna boost you in any way if you mix it. I honestly don't know. I don't,
Okay, all right, that's
I'm not
fair.
expert enough for that one,
That's fair.
but.
In the cards, are we putting our cell phone number or contact information? In the cards, are we putting any kind of contact information?
You could write your phone number like at the bottom and then do your return address. You could do. Depending on how, if that's someone you want to have your home address or not, you could use this address
Oh, that's
too.
what's going
Okay.
on.
Yeah, I would put your phone number in there.
I think I'm meeting with Elise next Wednesday.
Oh, good.
That's good.
We found the way to get the addresses on the
We did?
Yeah.
Good.
MLS.
Through the CRS.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
And did you,
under property?
and did you figure out how to like make the map?
Yes. Well, yeah.
There's a way
That's the map.
that you can like download a whole neighborhood, like you could take a section and you can get all the names, addresses
I did
of
that
that, okay?
on the group, on the one on
Okay.
farming, but don't tell anybody.
I won't. Don't tell them where you're farming.
Yeah.
I know, it's our best kept secret.
I'm usually, I can figure this stuff out. It's just sitting down, taking the time. Hey, it's Jeff, just give me a call when it's convenient for you. Talk to you soon. Bye. Reception. Who's your carrier? Oh, Cricket. Oh, I get it. Mine's Verizon. I don't have him. You don't have him?
You don't have service down here?
You have?
I have Cricket, and so yeah, I
You have
do
Cricket,
Cricket.
and you have better service than Verizon?
Well, Cricket's AT&T. We
Yeah.
run on AT&T.
I've
There's
had AT&T.
about half the people can't get service down here. That's why in coaching, they do their lead like their call days in Nixa. Because
Oh, okay.
that's the only place where they can gather a large group for calling because it doesn't work as well for everyone down here.
So do
Mine
you
works
like
just
Cricket
fine.
out in the rural area and all over the region? Do you really?
I've never noticed a change.
How long have you had? Yeah, but she's a realtor, that's why I'm asking.
So who do they use?
She's
Is
everywhere.
there-
AT&T.
oh, it-
And like you'll be.
You're also a realtor,
Yeah, like you'll
Richard.
be.
Yes, I am.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right, you'll be everywhere.
You get it out at Finley River? You get connection at Finley River?
Have I been out to Finley River? Not, not. in a
Alec
while.
can wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Here's,
yeah.
I have
here's
trouble
the
there.
only downside that I found out
To cricket.
when we went abroad. We couldn't get international calling, which was a disaster.
I just came back from
I mean, it wasn't, it was
Australia
fine, but
and we did really well.
yeah. So that's, we've actually been thinking about going back to a major carrier to get that. I'm
Yeah.
planning to travel the world.
All right,
AT&T has a
there you go.
good deal for
We just booked
overseas.
an Alaskan cruise.
Oh, really?
What'd you
Is it gonna
say?
be during
I'm
a
sorry.
warm time or cold?
That's a good
We're going
question.
in June.
Okay, so I've got my Excel sheet here. I want to
Is it
save it
sunny
to
then?
the
Yeah, I
desktop.
know it'll be sunny. I haven't really done much research
I
yet.
wanna Save it
on,
to
like,
the desktop.
Are you in Google Docs?
I'm in Excel. I'm in.
You know, I can't wait to hear
the,
about it.
Yeah. it
Because
should
I've
be
never
fun.
really been drawn to that, but then
360 Office
so many people do it.
365.
And I know that we probably like the same stuff, so if
Usually-
you like it, I'll
Yeah, I mean,
be
you,
more encouraged.
Usually
you get to see whales and icebergs and
You
do
go to
some
file.
hiking out in the.
save
Should be
as
fun.
and take it to desktop. I
Yeah, I'm
can't
looking
do
forward
that.
to it.
yet. I don't know why.
I'm kind of shy on getting on a
I
cruise
don't
again after
use that
last.
because
Did you think that
Google
was
is
awful?
free and
It's
they
been on
are,
wireless. It's pretty much what Matt. thought
I
it was.
think,
So do you think
Just
you've got
as
it
good.
there?
Yeah,
and they're
because
super user
I
friendly.
was fine getting there
For
and then we stayed
saving
in Miami
for-
for a couple of days. Went
Right.
and
Okay, well, that's
sushi,
fine.
like-
If you don't use it, then
It
you
didn't hit
probably
me.
don't know.
No.
Yeah. I'll find
So then we
out.
got on the
I'll figure it out.
cruise and it didn't hit me for like another 2 or 3 days.
I used to
I kind of
before
feel
Google
the same
Docs
way
Yeah.
came along.
about it. Like, I don't know when I'll do.
Somehow I
anything
will.
because
And now I use
I wasn't,
Google Docs.
I didn't get like, I
So
didn't contract anything. I
I
don't
don't
know if
know
I had
anything about-
seasickness or not, but I would, like at night.
This is a
still-
newer
I-
version
at
for
the end
me.
of the day,
This is a
I
newer
would
version
watch
for me.
it.
so.
yeah.
And I don't know
You'll
if it
Probably the
was
rocking of
a
the
little bit of the
boat.
rocking and like by the end of the
Yeah,
day, it
these
started to
are
kick in, but
partners,
by the end of the
Access.
cruise,
Access the addresses now.
I almost didn't even want to go to
Look
dinner.
up addresses without any talk.
And I also had like really bad,
Through the ML.
but I think that was the food. There
Oh,
was so
absolutely.
much
There's
food.
Yeah,
so
did
much-
the-
I mean, you
yeah,
have
see
to.
if that
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a
You
while.
try to get back in shape, you
Yeah,
know,
and
for
then,
sure. And then by
did
the
you
end of
get
the
the
trip,
other
like you gained it
You're
all
like-
back.
I know, and I kept trying to like
Because the food
be
in the
kind of
Navy.
good, you
Yeah,
know?
I know. Well, at least there's that track,
didn't-
you know, the
and I
track
don't
you
show
can
it well.
walk.
Did you
We
email?
always
me?
tried to walk
No,
every
she
morning.
just-
Well, I have a
Verbally
broken
gave it to
foot.
me.
Oh,
So then I was trying to even get better, because I was like, I can't burn stuff off.
But you can't,
Because I
called
love, like,
fast-
that's why, when we go on
fast people
vacation, I
search.
love to figure out like where to go walk. It's
Yeah,
like my, like, I
important.
always get up like
Fast people
before
search.
everybody else and go out.
Same.
Just do a
Yeah,
Google
you,
search.
it's hard for you with your foot.
You know, and I,
What
Fast
food
people.
I haven't been on there yet, but
Okay.
she said
I bet they have some good food.
pretty much all the
Did.
addresses.
And then, like, there's a dessert every night. You get to pick from the.
dessert every
Yeah.
meal, you can have dessert from
I will
breakfast,
check
at
it out.
breakfast.
Thank
You
you.
can have dessert at every single meal.
Anytime. I know before I got, I was like, you know, anytime.
Drinking anytime or eating, or eating
Both.
dessert.
Yeah. full. Yeah.
So how long have you had cricket?
Long time.
You've been everywhere.
I
in
got
our region?
it, my littlest one is 4.5, and we switched to cricket. Like right around the time she was born, I can't remember exactly. We switched because we were gonna get phones for the older kids. I wanted to make sure that they had phones in case I got caught up with the baby and forgot to pick them up from school. That's the whole reason I got them phones.
It's a real fear for us.
And so when we were gonna add 2 extra people, that's when we made the change. So that's it, that's how I remember it was right around then.
Okay,
So we've had a long time.
and you've liked it.
My sister has cricket.
Yeah.
She likes it too.
We just have to be okay with the figuring out some other thing for the
For
international.
international,
Mhm.
yeah.
Which we never really figured out a super successful But we didn't plan well either. We were like trying to deal with it on the way there and when we got there, which was not good. We should have been researching it before and figuring it out before we got there.
Yeah.
So if you go to
We have
Europe or go to
18.
England, at least in Europe, you
Right.
can, they have SIM cards in vending machines in the airport. And just get it, and I mean, it's,
And use
Yeah.
it just for that trip.
you
That's
just use
what,
it, it's like £5 and then you pay as you go, so.
Really?
yes.
Yeah.
So that's what we thought we were gonna do. And then Ryan found this like
Per
online,
minute.
like kind of like a, well, like a
Different plans.
virtual or digital SIM card.
But-
So we got like a French phone
Yeah.
number,
Well, that's
but
a
it
little
just didn't
more
really work that well.
expensive, but,
Yeah,
So-
when you have children left, that's a little.
You can just get the Wi-Fi plan. You
Makes
do
you feel
Wi-Fi
anxious.
I'm
calls,
standing up because everyone else is standing.
with Skype.
Yeah, what's up with that?
or Facebook.
Well, I didn't go leave it,
Yeah.
I gotta go pick up John.
Just
has
have
to
a
leave
data
it
plan.
4:40.
You just
I just
use
gotta
the
go to the-
data.
Maybe
You
we
don't
have
have to
business
use the
cards.
phone.
Is it okay if
You know what I'm
I
saying?
No, I don't have
You use the
business.
data plan.
Is it okay?
And it's in, like, things, it's super easy.
I do
Like,
have business
they have
cards, I don't carry
Okay.
them, I just usually share my
10
contacts.
gig plan, 20 gig, 100 gig, you know, whatever.
You wanna see
And
the
then
business
you
card?
can go over it.
I've seen a few, but I wanna see some more.
You're about ready to go over.
I don't
it.
even honestly know if mine are in my office or
Mhm.
where they are.
They haven't.
I
mean,
just,
it's-
I
it
want
is
to be able to send,
technology.
if I'm sending a card to somebody, then I want to send a business card in it.
Yep.
A handwritten note, then I want a
Right.
business card. in it. I don't like the designs in design.
So that's one
I
thing.
went to the agent's store.
So, we live.
Yeah. The problem with this is, I don't know that they sell, that I could get it as a magnet.
Well, you can take your business card design and go to a magnet website and just upload it.
But they're not gonna let me save this design. This is the agent's store, so they're proprietarizing this design, I'm sure. They'll send you the printed cards, but they're not gonna let me download the design,
Well, why don't you do it in Canva then? Because you can upload your Canva design to any of them.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I gotta find a design in Canva that I like, which is I know, right? So how did you initially make yours?
Well, hold on a second. Tammy, I am gonna turn off the Zoom and the recording. We're all packing up here, just letting you know.
Oh, okay, good enough.
Leave.